Hello, my friends. I'm not sure if you can hear me. I think I left it down here. Let me take the light with me. There we go. And you are seeing me. If you guys can hear me, I'm pretty sure you probably can. I've never actually done this from my iPad before, so a bit of a new thing. Got some wood here that's on the wet side. It's on the wet side, but I need to get some of this stuff burned. I'll do another burn tomorrow when I've got my kids and everybody here, but and I've got this one starter log that has been sitting on my barbecue for about a month now because I haven't gotten a chance to come out here and do a good burn. So we're going to hopefully get a little bit of burnage, burn a few of these smaller things, an old chair, and I will be, that's what she said, put that right there and hopefully get a little bit of that stoked up. There we go. So light off, because now I want to enjoy the cool night air. What's up, guys? Already a couple. Hey, some donations already. You guys are fucking dope. The Repose. What's up? What's up, Six, my man? Sorry, I don't even have the stream up to watch yet. I'm just now getting the fire started. I'm about ready to run over there and get me something to drink real quick. But yeah, thanks you guys for checking in and saying what's up. What's up, Butterfly? You guys can hear me okay, right? Because I've never done this from my iPad before. So if you guys have any problems hearing me, please let me know. What's up, Steve? What's up, man? I'm gonna get back into the house here in just a minute and get something to drink, but hopefully that fire will catch a little bit here in a second and you guys will be able to see a good fire. Oh, hey, there we go. A little bit catching. Yeah, all right, you can hear me. Rock on. Rock on. I positioned it on this little end table that I have sitting out in my backyard by my barbecue area and where my fire pit and everything is, hoping that I would be talking right at the microphone. If you guys hear some crackling and stuff, because I have the bug zapper out, yeah, it's, it's late July, Ohio. Still a few bugs in the air, even at 12:30. So I am going to give you guys a bit of dead air here for just about 5 seconds because I didn't think to grab my bottle of whatever the hell I want to drink and some ice in a glass. So if you guys would give me just a minute, be back just a moment. Don't go anywhere. All right, I am returned. Got a little bottle of something. Gonna sit here and hopefully this fire catches. You see that log that's on top of everything? It's waterlogged and shitty. That's one of the reasons I've been trying to burn it, because I just need to get rid of it. I've got a absolute fuck ton of wood that I can burn over the course of the summer and the fall and maybe even in the winter if it works out. Oh, zap. Another bug bites the dust. But yeah, I just I don't know. I was actually trying to get out of work a little early because I was hoping to get home about an hour or so ago. But I just got busy enough to keep me going at work, so I ended up having to stay for the whole shift. Which, whatever. Worst things have happened. But give you guys, there's a better lit one of my good friends, Johnny Walker. And there's the fire. Hopefully it picks up here in a minute. Like I said, that wood is like insanely fucking wet and rotted, so I'm just trying to get rid of it because I'm fucking tired of looking at it, quite frankly. So yeah, also, of course, live right now is the Night Watch Zone. Of course, you're going live over me. What the hell, Night Watch? Jesus, you're live like 17 times a week. No, I'm just kidding. I love Night Watch. Knight and Killian and Coriander, they all kill it over there. They're really good people, especially if you like the horror stuff. That's what they talk about a lot. So yeah, if you guys are all into that shit, let me pour a little bit of this Johnny Walker over the ice. Boom. Now it is kind of late, and I don't want to get too fish-naked, so I'm going to cut it with a little bit of soda. Just because, like I said, I meant to be out here like an hour ago. I was gonna roll out and get this fire started and chill the fuck out. Excuse my noise, but yeah. So like I said, ask me anything while we're waiting for the fire. And thanks again to the Repose to Six for throwing a few bucks out. Appreciate you guys. Unless those are old donations, which they very easily could be. I really don't know. I just noticed that they popped up on the thing as soon as I looked, and that's where they were. But yeah, also let me know if the stream's having any problems, because like I said, I'm really just hooked up to my Wi-Fi right now. I'm just out in my backyard, and I get a decent enough signal out here normally, but it's kind of a new thing. I don't know. Maybe the Fireside chats will become a regular thing. It could. I think it'd be fun. But yeah, basically it's like an Ask Me Anything. If there's something on your mind, let's see. Butterfly says, "What do you think of the Griner trade?" I think it's terrible. I think it's a shit idea. Not that I didn't want her to come home. I think she was obviously just a pawn for the Russians to fuck with us. There's lots of different ways to look at it. Some people have said she broke the law, she deserves it, and that's not without value, that opinion. But the reality is we all know what it was. It was them trying to get this arms dealer back, and Biden's going to give in. But look, there's a lot that we don't know about the situation. There's another bug going down. Yes, bug zappers are like one of the best things ever invented. Like, God gave us a couple of amazing things like baseball and women, but bug zappers are probably some of the most enjoyable. But yeah, the Griner trade, whatever. She was being used. Yeah, she did wrong, but it's a sad state of affairs when we can get locked up in that kind of fucking behavior from these countries that are just going to do it because they know they're going to get away with it. It's kind of silly, but I don't know. That's just me. I'm glad she's coming home. I don't want to see any American citizen, even one that I might have some kind of a differing opinion politically or otherwise with. I don't like seeing them used as pawns in the political back and forth that goes on between nations. But that's the way that goes. That's the world we live in, unfortunately. See, Tech says those might be donations from the derail. They very easily could be. I thought maybe Rose was just being funny and typing his name wrong again. But yeah, but hey, anyway, thanks to you guys, again, if those are old donations, thanks again to you guys. Also, if Rose or Bullseye are watching this, last night I actually got up out of bed at 2 a.m. because I was watching TV trying to fall asleep and forgot that I hadn't sent you guys the winnings from that day yet. So yes, I did that last night. So hopefully you guys have got those, and hopefully you guys will go enjoy a movie. But yeah, those are my basic thoughts on the Griner swap. I don't like these things. I don't like people being used as political pawns, but whatever. This is the way the world that we live in works now. This is the evolution of geopolitical blah blah blah. I could go into it for a while, but who fucking cares? Love to tell you a little bit about my day, unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about. Let's see, I worked. That's about it. I did get this tree, actually last weekend as this happened, I got this big tree that was in my front yard that was dying. The tree was not in good shape. It was on its last legs. You could tell because once they did cut it down, several of the branches and parts of the stump, the center of it, the heart of the tree was starting to rot out and hollow out, so that's how you know the tree is dead. But the owner of the house that I live in finally had somebody come out and take that down, so now I have a plethora of firewood. So it's kind of coming at a really good time because, it's end of July today, tomorrow, technically speaking. And then Monday is the first of the month. We're in August, the dog days of summer. We're going to start seeing nights get a little bit cooler. So it's going to make for some good opportunities to come out here and do this. Maybe some people will come out here and hang out with me. I don't know, maybe. J-Man was talking about popping out here at some point soon. Maybe he cruises over and we sit back here and, we throw back a few adult beverages and just talk and put it all out there for you guys to just enjoy, to just intake. July flew by. You're right, Butterfly, but the problem is, and this is the problem with getting older, is you don't understand how fast time goes until you start to get like in the second half of your life. Because when you're like a kid, you're in your teens, and even really into your 20s, it's just kind of like, you're just young. You just feel like you're going to be young forever. Time is something that's all in front of you. And then, I realized something a while back. I was like, if I live to life expectancy, which I think is 70-something, 73 or 74, I'm already halfway through my life. I've already got more days behind me than in front of me, which is a weird, sobering thing to think about. And if you guys are hearing a airplane or a helicopter in the distance, sorry for the background noise, but I live literally a baseball throw away from the Air Force Base, so that kind of happens. But yeah, I mean, time flies pretty crazy. I think we were talking about it on Drew's channel last September. We were talking about the 20th anniversary of 9/11, and I was just thinking to myself, I'm like, God, it's for so many people who remember the day clearly, like me. I mean, I was only 25 or something when it happened, 24. But yeah, I mean, for so many people who were in their adulthood, that day is remembered like it's happening in front of you. It's not even like it was yesterday. It's like you can describe this thing like it's happening in front of you. And it was 20 years ago, and my son just turned 18, so this thing happened before he was even alive. And but now I see that he's grown. He's got his license. He's got a job. He's making plans to get out of the house and go off on his own, which is a terrifying thought for any father. But yeah, and it's like before he was even a twinkle in my eye, this insane thing happened, and the memory is very, very fresh. So it's a weird time is a weird thing, and it's just odd. And I think about how, it was. Oh my, 46. So I think about it was 32 years ago that I lived in California. That was where I grew up as a kid. So yeah, time is a fucked up thing, man. It's crazy. Butterfly says, one of my cats passed away today at 14 years old. How the years flew by. I'm sorry to hear that, Butterfly. Yeah, I had funny story. Not really funny, but a story to compare to it. First off, very sorry about that. It's unfortunate, but everybody gets connected to their pets. But I think it was 2 weeks after I graduated high school, I moved out of my parents' house, and I moved in with a girl that I was dating at the time and one of my best friends. We got a small little townhouse together, and that was our first big thing, moving out into the world. And I got a cat from a local pet store. I was like, I wanted a cat, so I got a cat that I named Pee-wee because I had read a book several times, actually, over the course of my adulthood called The Man Who Brought the Dodgers Back to Brooklyn. And it was about a guy who grew up in Brooklyn in the 40s and the 50s, was devastated when the Dodgers moved to L.A., and then became rich and powerful, and him and his friend, two guys on the other side of the tracks, that kind of thing, they ended up buying the Dodgers. Bug, go away. And moving him back to Brooklyn. They rebuilt Ebbets Field and the whole thing. And in that movie, the guy, the poor kid, the kid from the rougher side of the tracks, he had a cat named Pee-wee. Named, of course, after Pee Wee Reese, who played second base for the Brooklyn and L.A. Dodgers for many years. And so I got a cat, and just having read that book, I think for about the second time, right around the time that I moved out, I named my cat Pee-wee. And I had that cat until I was 34. So from when I was about 20 until I was 34. So I had the cat for roughly the same amount of years, about 14 years. And I ended up having to rehome her as she was getting late in life because I had moved in with my sister. And I couldn't take her with me, so I ended up finding a new home for her. And I tried to keep up with this person. It was a younger girl who apparently had a thing for strays. At least that's what she told me. And I tried to keep up with her. I mean, she gave me her number, and I tried calling her a couple times to check on the cat and see how my cat was doing. And I got no response from her ever. So I would imagine after all these years that my cat has passed away and has gone on to another life. I'm gonna have to fuck with this fire a little bit. That's not catching the way I want it to. See what I can do to. I really hoped that fire would catch a little better, but clearly I was mistaken. I may have to do a little work to this thing. Probably should have planned this a little better, but like I said, it was a bit of a spontaneous thing, but we're going to work it out. We're going to do this all right. Let's break up some kindling, get it under there. Gallon, I actually have I have a paper shredder next to my desk. It's got a bunch of paper in it, so I may end up having to go in there. I may also end up having to take this thing right here and screw up your guys' view, so very sorry if I do. Move you out here so you can get a better view. Maybe jam that thing in there. And I brought 2 fire starters out here because I didn't know if I was going to need more than 2, because like I said, this number is awfully oh yeah, that's going to catch here in a second. Right up there against that thing. There we go. So we'll get that in there. Get some more kindling, see if we can get this going a bit. There we go, a little bit of extra fire. Yeah, that giant log is right here in the center. That thing has been sitting in my backyard for God knows how long. So that's kind of one of the things I wanted to accomplish tonight, was to get that burned down a bit. And I'll come out here tomorrow again. My 2 youngest kids will be over tomorrow, so we're going to be burning some shit and setting some fires, and probably going to be some marshmallow roasting tomorrow. That kind of thing. It's a little big. I'll put that in there. There's a lot of pieces of a chair that are sitting out here right now. Hopefully this will work and kind of get this going. That log that's on top, like I said, I'm afraid this won't start the best fire tonight. But you know, we're gonna make something work here. Some fireside fun. But there's that. Hell yeah. All right, got the fire going a little better. Rock on. But yeah, butterfly. I mean, you get connected to pets, man. It's not the craziest thing in the world. My girlfriend and my stepdaughter. Let me see if I can focus on the fire a little bit for you guys. It's not getting it's kind of blurry. I'm not used to doing this on my iPad again, so forgive me if I'm fucking some things up. But yeah, people get attached to pets. There's a reason for that. I mean, they're friendly. They want to be part of our lives. So yeah, fucking A. Let's see. Text says I was in 8th grade on 9/11. Never forget sitting in the library watching that second tower. Yeah, no shit. That whole day was pretty fucking crazy. I've told the story on Drew's show a couple times. I was actually managing a restaurant in Dayton, Ohio when that happened, and I was at a store. I was at my restaurant, and I was the only one there at the time because it was still a while before the morning crew was gonna get there, and I was getting my shit together for the day. And I was listening to WTUE in Dayton, and they were interviewing, I forget who they were interviewing exactly. I want to say it was Sebastian Bach, the vocalist, guitarist for Skid Row. You guys who are music fans know who that is. Oh, God, Johnny Walker's hitting good right now. But, yeah, I think they were interviewing him, I want to say. The fire's getting a little bit of a good thing going now. And I want to say that they had mentioned it. I wish I could get a better view of the fire. I don't know why it's not focusing in the right way. But I'll have to find something else I can wedge under there. But yeah, they broke away for just a half second and said there's been some plane crash in New York. We'll get more. Oops, sorry, cover the lens. trying to situate this thing to where you guys get a more centered view of the fire. Hey, come into focus. There you go. Fire's starting to roll. You guys are seeing it now. There we go. But, and then they broke away saying, yeah, there's been something in New York. We'll have more information about it in a minute. And at the time, I was like, whatever. Shit happens in New York all the time. How crazy could it be? Haha, little did I know. And they went to commercial break saying that things were very serious in New York. They'll have more information when they come back. They went to commercial, came back, and they were like, yeah, apparently there's been a big situation in New York. We're going to give you more information later. And then, like, they went back to the interview for like another minute or so. And then the guy broke in. He was like, actually, this thing in New York's really kind of popping off. We're going to go to live news coverage. And I think at the time, Fox had most radio coverage. So they broke over to, they were just basically airing what was going on Fox News Channel, just over the radio, just the audio. And that's what I heard of it all. And that's where I was all day. And I was at work dead as fuck because, nobody wanted to eat out and have fun and stuff during the day with all that shit going on. Everybody was glued to their TVs. So we ended up closing the restaurant early, and I went home. And the funny thing is I didn't even see anything of that day. I didn't see the towers fall live. I didn't see the second plane hit until about 5:30 that afternoon. I went and got gas because at that point, I'd heard on the radio everything that was going on. And then I went and got gas. I figured gas prices were probably going to skyrocket, which they kind of did. And they kind of did. They didn't do too bad right after that, but they kind of did. Went and filled up my gas tank in my car. Went home, got my sidearm because, again, I live right next to an Air Force base, and who the hell knows. And picked up my wife at the time, and then went over to my mom and dad's house, and we stayed there and watched TV until we watched the news coverage till 9 or 10 o'clock at night. Then I went home and watched until 1 or 2 in the morning. And yeah, that was kind of how I spent the whole day. But Tech says he keeps fire starting gel by my pit. It coats the wood and burns slow and keeps the flame. I've actually I tried earlier this summer kind of making homemade napalm. Basically, homemade napalm is just taking pieces of styrofoam, dipping it into I had a little aluminum, like a tin cup thing that we had from one of the many fairs that goes on around here. And I poured a little bit of gas in it and just pushed the styrofoam down in there. And as you push the styrofoam in there, it dissolves the styrofoam and it absorbs a lot of the gasoline. And it creates like this gel. And so that's kind of what I made, is like a kind of a poor man's version of that. My problem is that it still stinks like hell. It still stinks like styrofoam, like you're just throwing regular styrofoam onto the fire. And it doesn't really burn all that long. It's okay for starting, but it's not great for keeping the fire going. And I want something that actually burns for a few minutes while I'm trying to get a fire started. That's one of the reasons why I have a starter log that I pushed down there, which may or may not even be burning at this point. It's been rained on and kind of soaked for the last probably month or so because it's been sitting on my barbecue uncovered. But yeah, and I keep all kinds of fire starting things in my bug out bag that I keep my emergency ammo and some survival stuff in case I ever need to get it and go if all hell breaks loose. So yeah, so I've used stuff like that before. Butterfly says, what's the temperature right now? It's only about 70. I think today it didn't get overly hot. I think it maybe got in the lower 80s today. Yesterday was it was in the upper 80s, but it rained, so it was humid. Today wasn't terrible hot. It wasn't bad, but I still kind of miss air conditioning on days like this, but it wasn't terrible. Right now it's only about 70. If I look at, let me dump out of this real quick and go to my WeatherBug app. WeatherBug says it is currently 65 degrees. And the 10-day says steadily, come back, tomorrow 78, Monday rain 84, Tuesday rain 82, Wednesday in the 90s again. So we're not done with summer yet, but which is fine by me because I hate cold weather. Cold weather's fucking terrible. But yeah, it's only 65 out here right now. It's nice, cool, not very crisp. I could go for a little bit cooler, especially with the fire burning. But I'm not mad at the temperature right now. Butterfly says, I have 6 cats now, and I'm not a crazy cat lady. You sure? Because I think once you get above 3, you're kind of getting into that range. But yeah, have pets. I know my ex-girlfriend, the mother of my 2 youngest kids, they've got 2 cats, 2 dogs, maybe 3 cats, 2 dogs. I don't know, they have a whole lot of animals. It's a lot more animals than what I would want. I've been telling myself for years that I'm not going to have any pet more complicated than a goldfish ever again because it's just... it's like I don't always have the time to give to an animal, especially a dog, which requires a lot of attention. And I don't want to get a dog and then neglect it. I mean, it'd be nice to have a dog, but I don't want to accidentally mistreat it because I just don't have the time. Yeah, you had 7 before today. Yeah, well, I mean, hey, there's plenty of animals out there that need a home. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to press on about getting 500 subscribers. I don't know if you ever watch Vet Ranch. Matt Carricker, the guy that does Demolition Ranch, is actually a licensed veterinarian. He has his own practice, and he started Vet Ranch a long time ago. And what he does is he goes and gets all these animals that are on the verge of being euthanized for injuries or not having a home or whatever, and they will actually take them, and through the Abandoned Pet Project, they'll cover the cost of getting them healthy again, getting them dewormed, getting them spayed, neutered, all that stuff, and finding them a home. So they give these animals a second chance, and they're kind of being pressed a lot right now because all these people that went and got these emotional support animals for COVID the last couple of years, now that COVID's pretty much kind of done, we're definitely headed to the end. They're returning these animals, or some people are just releasing them onto the street. So these animals get hurt, and they end up, pinned up in a shelter with nobody wanting to come get them. So the Abandoned Pet Project actually works with a lot of those people, a lot of these veterinary places around the country, to try to get animals going and rehomed. It said it's 90 here. Yeah, my brother-in-law and his wife and kid. His wife and kid are actually kind of crashed with us right now, but they have been living in Conroe, Texas, which is just outside of Houston. You might know the area well enough. We actually went down there in December to visit them, and they are actually in the process of moving back up here. They're Jackie, my sister-in-law, and their young son Sean, my nephew, who's pretty badass. They're kind of crashing with us for the next few weeks, and while my brother-in-law Richard is finishing up things in Texas, and they're going to be moving back up here. So yeah, I know I need to get back down to Texas, though. I got a chance to go to the Johnson Space Center, which is pretty fucking badass. Saw you got a big win the other day, stud. About time you managed to do something on Fortnite without me or Kev carrying the load. But let's see. Hope everything's going okay. I can see it kind of buffering a bit. I'm hoping my Wi-Fi doesn't shit out. But yeah, I mean yeah. Go watch Vet Ranch on YouTube, Butterfly. They do a lot of stuff, and they've been doing some like other stuff too, like what is it? Fucking like horses and stuff. They've been doing some stuff like that. So yeah. Casey, what's up? Been through Conroe many times. Yeah, they're moving up here because they were actually on their way up here. My nephew Sean's been staying. He usually comes up here for a month or two during the summer, and I'm gonna have to do something else with this fire here in a second. Okay, I'm gonna go find something else that I can try to put under there to get burning, and I will be back in just a moment, guys. Give me 1 second. I have returned, and I've got the basket for my paper shredder, and I'm going to have to use the light on my phone. See, a couple of people have popped in. Yeah, what's up, yeah, Ray, what's up, son? I gotta forgive me. I wasn't really planning on doing some of this, or I would have been slightly more prepared, ready to go, but yeah, it goes. We're still having fun. Yay. As a matter of fact, I'm just about fucking done with this Let me move some of this out of the way real quick. We'll have to get mostly a fresh fire going, but that's all right. I don't think you guys are going to mind. We're having fun. Having a good conversation. I'll do some shit up like this. Make sure that stays up there. And all this stuff that I shred because I don't want you guys to know what I actually do with myself. You know, I'll get some of these smaller pieces of wood and a little thing right there. Some more woodage. Yeah, I think that we got some fire ready to happen. Where is my lighter? I'm actually surprised that that paper hasn't even caught yet. There we go. There we go. And put some more smaller things in here just to get some good flamage. It's about. Got these pieces of old chair that I've been breaking up and trying to get rid of. It doesn't fit. Force it. You know what I mean? Yay, yay! All right, I think we're back on the road to some good burn. Yay, yay! Back to what you guys were saying. What was for dinner? You had lasagna. Oh, you beat me, Ray. I had some boneless chicken wings at work because I couldn't think of anything else I wanted. I didn't want fast food, so I threw in a handful of some chicken wings. What I did do though is I did stop at my house and I got I have this barbecue sauce. It's what is it? Jalapeno blueberry barbecue sauce that I got from a local hardware store actually. Last summer, I had stopped into this local hardware store that I go to all the time because it's just a 5-minute drive from my house, and they have all this stuff like as you're getting ready to walk to the register, all this impulse buying stuff, and they sell a lot of local stuff there, barbecue sauces, candy, things like that. And I just happened to catch this barbecue sauce that looked really fucking interesting. Let me move that to center a little bit, and it was not habanero. I keep wanting to call it habanero. I don't know why, but it was jalapeno blueberry. And July 4th, Jeremy came over with his woman and some other people came over and we had a little barbecue. I made a bunch of chicken and I marinated it. And I decided I have like 5 or 6 extra pieces of chicken that wouldn't fit in the marinade bag. So I was like, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this barbecue sauce on it. And it was pretty fucking dope. The heat is not what I wanted it to be. It's got some decent heat, not great, but as soon as you bite into it, the heat dissipates really quickly, but just enough of it lingers to complement the blueberry, the fruitiness of the barbecue sauce. So I had a little bit of that left over at the house, so I went and took that into work, and I put it on some boneless wings, and that's what I had. Had that, and was alternating between water and Diet Pepsi, because I'm trying to drink more water. But, yeah, so you had lasagna, you beat me. Roman and Brock was pretty dope. I have not watched any highlights of SummerSlam, so yeah, I'm not a big wrestling fan much anymore anyway. Obviously, you guys know that, but I've been trying to watch it a little more over the last couple of years that I've been kicking it with Drew and this crew, because I want to know what I'm talking about if I say something. I don't want to sound like an absolute dick. So yeah, that's it. Time to grab the gasoline. No, no. That almost went really, really wrong when I was trying to start a fire a few months ago. My dumb ass was doing the stupid thing that men do. I was just pouring gasoline on little spots, trying to get it to burn evenly, and then it almost jumped up into the gas can. So, no, that was my one thing. Let's see. Best matches of SummerSlam was USO's Street Profile. I haven't seen it. And Lesnar versus Roman, didn't see it. Haven't watched any highlights, don't know. Insane Root, woo! What's up, brother? Throw Casey in the fryer? Well, I would, but the fat might put the fire out. Anyway, let's see. Do you have a fireplace out there? I do not have a fireplace. I have a fire pit. I can roll out here. I mean, I don't know. Let me try to turn my light on in my phone again real quick to maybe give you a bit of a better view. That's there's some like paving stones and things that were laying around the house when we moved in, and I just kind of arranged them over here in the corner of what used to be, because this cement pad that I'm on right now, I think used to be the pad for a shed, but long before we moved into this house, the shed was taken down. Let me get my shredded paper out of here. See, just kind of flashes the shot. Doesn't look as good with all the shit in it, but yeah. So I just kind of arranged them all in here so that I would have a fire pit. So yeah, that's what I do. And it's kind of over in the corner of this pad, like as far away from the house as I can get it, really, with the exception of maybe a couple feet to the right if I wanted to. But yeah, so it's just a little fire pit. I actually just moved it. I did have it kind of circular, but I wanted to open it up a little bit to make it easier to clean, because after you've burned it a few times, you got a bunch of ash. And I found out that I realized anyway, that I had to move all these bricks out so I could get in there with my shovel and get all the ashes out and just kind of throw them over in the corner of the yard where nobody goes anyway. So I figured this would be easier to clean if I just made it like an open fire pit. That, and with the cooler days of summer coming, and me maybe bringing my kids out here a little more often, because you don't want to start a fire at night in early July when it's still 95 or 100 fucking degrees. It'll be easier, like roast marshmallows and shit like that. So that I decided to do like an open fire pit thing. Let's see. Actually, what I wanted to do though is I'm getting rid of my gas grill, because it's just the bottom of it's really rusted out and terrible. It's actually right behind me. It's going to be going to the curb probably Monday night. And I was thinking about getting the grates off of it and rearranging my fire pit to where I could put a fire underneath it and just grill on that. So I've been thinking about it, but I don't know. I may or may not do that in the next day or two. Casey says, is that some important information papers you shredded now burning? Maybe, Casey. Maybe your address is in there. Maybe the contract that I put out on you, maybe that's in there. You never know. Burning some kind of evidence papers? Well, no comment. That sauce sounds disgusting in theory, but I'd try it once. Honestly, I don't know why I bought it, because generally speaking, fruity flavored spicy stuff doesn't always hit. I mean, like mango salsa is not bad, but it's not necessarily salsa as much as it is just kind of sweet. It tastes almost like a fruit salad. That's one of the reasons I've never been particularly fond of like mango salsa. But I mean, like I said, it sat on my shelf in my kitchen where I keep some of my sauces for over almost a year before I finally was just like, okay, because what I was thinking of doing is I was thinking of putting it on ribs, but I haven't had a chance to cook ribs in a long time. So, and I don't know if I'll get a chance to really go balls out on any ribs the rest of the summer, maybe in the fall, but I just got tired of watching it sit there collecting dust on my fucking shelf. So I went ahead and put it on some chicken breast just to see how it tasted. And dude, it's like Jeremy fucking bashed like 2 pieces of chicken breast. His girlfriend bashed a piece. I got like half a piece that was left because I was like still cooking. And I went in there to grab a piece of shit. It was just about gone. So I ended up taking a little bit of the sauce and putting it on one of the chicken breasts that I had marinated in some kind of other thing that I had. But yeah, it's actually pretty dope. I had enough left over to take it to work, and I made some boneless wings with it tonight. It's not bad. It's not hateful. I'll if I can remember, I'll DM you and let you know what kind it is, because I don't think they sell it at this hardware store anymore. I think you probably have to go online to buy it if you wanted to try it. It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $7 for the bottle. I mean, it wasn't all that, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. Let's see. Brock drove a tractor to the ring and flipped it. It's worth checking out. I'll go look at some highlights probably. No, maybe tomorrow. I'm going to sit out here and, I don't know, go for a while. And, I don't know, it's about 1:15 my time, and I haven't even finished my first, here we go, my first glass of Johnny Walker. I'm still working on my first glass of that, so I'm going to sit out here for a bit and see what you guys are talking about. Obviously, a lot of SummerSlam talk going on. That's cool. See, Butterfly says, I just watched Reigns. That's about it. Yeah, I know Roman Reigns. I can't say I've ever actually watched a complete match of his. I stopped watching years before he even came into WWE, so, you should do s'mores with the kids. I love doing that with my nieces when we do fire pits. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I wanted to make this more of an open fire pit. I mean, now that the fire's burning a little better, you can kind of see the bricks on the right side, like right here. It kind of goes around right here and comes back down to about here. So it's going to be an easier way for me to do stuff like that. And like I said, it'll be easier to clean as well. Let's see. Tex says, I've got peach with ghost and habanero pepper sauce and jam. That sounds pretty dope. My one problem is that as I'm getting older, and this is one of the things that sucks about being old, is the doctor's been telling me to go easy on the spicy stuff because my stomach does not go with it the way that I did in my 20s. It does not always agree. Unfortunate, because I love spicy food. I mean, I always joke with people that I put hot sauce on my cornflakes in the morning. That's not entirely a joke. I mean, I don't, but I eat spicy almost everything. As a matter of fact, I think tomorrow for dinner, I'm going to make some chorizo, Papa's chorizo and eggs, and make some potatoes, chorizo and eggs. Probably make up a big bunch of it, because my nephew Sean loves chorizo and eggs, and I've made it for him a couple times since he's been here with us this summer, and I eat chorizo all the time. Jennifer does not. She is not Mexican enough, apparently. But, yeah, so definitely a big mess of chorizo and eggs going to be popping off for dinner tomorrow. And maybe I'll stop by that hardware store and see what they got. I know they have like a different brand of sauces there now. I haven't really taken a close look, but if they have something that's kind of a spicy barbecue thing, I might get it just to see how it works out. I might throw it on a couple pieces of chicken. I'm trying to eat more chicken instead of red meat and stuff nowadays, because not as young as I once was. So I gotta start watching out for shit, Oh, hey! I don't know if you guys can hear that bit of a flare. Oh yeah, that's the fire that I wanted to start earlier. But yeah, that big giant lump of log that's on top, it's like right in there. That it's been a stump that's been sitting here since before we moved in, and I basically was just using it to like sit on when I was doing stuff out here, because I don't really have any lawn chairs. I've just got a couple of old wooden kitchen chairs that have been sitting out here since we got a new table, and yeah, that's kind of what I got. So I need to get like a new like patio set, but those things are pricey as fuck, and Daddy doesn't have $500 to throw around right now. So if he did, he'd get a better computer, so I can give you guys better streams. But yeah, I'm not tripping right now. I mean, we're getting pretty close to the end of the party out stuff anyway. So a lot of the backyard stuff's going to be coming to a close here in the next few weeks as we get on into school starting back up for the children's. So yeah, I don't know what else you guys got going on. We got 5 people in here. It's not bad, considering that it's like I said, 1:15 my time. It's 1:17. Don't know where it is where you are. Oh, Ray, what's going down? What's going down your neck of the woods? I know you live pretty close to one of those cities that gets a lot of news for not always the right reasons. Staying safe over there, homie? I mean, I don't want to dog on the town you live in too much. I don't want to say it because I don't know who out there knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, the world's going to hell in a handcart, man. It seems, and it seems like no place is safe anymore. There's a reason why, even at this moment in my own backyard, I'm sitting here with a 9mm on my hip. I am not, however, facing my fence, my gate to my fence, but I think I'll be all right. I'm getting all kinds of notifications from Mikkel's Discord. What's up, Mikkel? Don't know if you're going to pop in here at all. What's up, homie? Kind of worried that log that is precariously perched, that wet shitty one that is precariously perched on that one smaller log, is going to end up falling when that one burns down a bit. It's going to end up kind of crushing the fire. I may have to shove another piece or two of wood in there, which doesn't bother me. I don't know if you guys know this or not, because it's not great lighting, but off to the side is one of these old fucking kitchen chairs that I broke up and destroyed just to use as firewood. So, hells yeah. Let's see. Yeah, text says, I don't go anywhere unarmed. I'm not going to lie, bro. Since that, I was going to get my concealed carry anyway, and I'm going to eventually. But since they did that constitutional carry thing in Ohio, that thing went into effect June 13th, and I have not left my bedroom without my gun since. It's just, there's just too much crazy shit going on in the world, man. Can't trust it. I mean, take my kids places. I mean, we were just last weekend, we went to my nephew's birthday party, and it's like, and I had it on me. I mean, I was surrounded by a bunch of kids at this, one of those trampoline places where kids jump into all kinds of shit, but I was looking around like, I don't know how many of these people are fucking stupid and wanting to cause shit. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I tried to conceal it as much as I could. I mean, Jennifer knows I carry, her friend knows I carry, and it was her son's birthday party, and her husband knows I carry, so, and they know that I'm not going to do anything to hurt them. They know, if anything, I'm going to protect them if I have to. So, I mean, I'm sure they were okay, but I mean, I don't think anybody else really noticed. I thought it was kind of funny that I was in line at Kroger's, a week or so ago, pick up a few groceries and things, and there was some lady in front of me. We just kind of like made quick eye contact, and I just nodded my hello. She nodded back, and I noticed she had a shirt on that was definitely making it clear that she does not like guns. I forget exactly what it said. It was just like something about you have a gun because you have a small penis or something like that. I don't know. It was something meant to be derogatory. And I just kind of giggled at myself internally because I was like, she has no idea that I'm standing like 4 feet from her and I've got a gun on me. And if something popped off, I would protect her. But I was like, whatever. I mean, I thought about saying something for a minute, but I was like, nah, I just not going to start shit because, whatever. That's the whole idea about carrying concealed is that I don't want people to know I have it. So, whatever. Let's see. Ray is in Indianapolis. Man, you're in Indiana. Go away, bug. Yeah, you're only probably a couple hours away from me, homie. Yeah, I'm about a 2-hour drive away from Indianapolis. I've been to Indianapolis several times over the years. Various things, work-wise. Jennifer's been over there a lot doing stuff for her Girl Scout stuff. So, yeah, I mean, Indianapolis is a place that I go to pretty regularly. Haven't been there in a while, to be honest. But, I'd go back. I know they actually, but there's a few things that have opened up there that Jennifer has been to that she says that she wants to go up there and just hang out, just me and her, and have like a date. So, but yeah, have fun in Indiana, my man. Might do a barbecue next week to celebrate Mom's birthday. Well, happy birthday. Happy birthday. How young is she going to be? Doesn't look a day over 50. Looks beautiful. Mikkel, what's up, Mikkel, my man? Let's see, TSS. Get a few people in here. So now that Frank is doing Fireside Chat, should we call it the Harsh Blaze or the Scorching Truth? Either one of those. I kind of like the Fireside with Frank. There's something about the 2 Fs. There's a symmetry there that I like. But, one of the things that is actually very cool about this community is they're really cool about coming up with names for things. It's like, Can We Talk? And, whatever, stuff like that. So it works out really well that way. Let's see. Yeah, Ray, I did play the lottery. I gave Jennifer $10 and said, go buy me $10 for the tickets. And I'm sitting here with you guys talking, so obviously I did not win. So, if I would have won, I might have come on here and told you guys about it, or I might have just gotten on a plane and gone somewhere fancy, and maybe I'd be streaming from there right now. But no, I did not win. I don't know. I don't know. What would you guys do? Because everybody says I would buy a Lamborghini, I would buy a big house. I think those things are stupid. I wouldn't buy a big house. I mean, I'd probably have a house built, something specifically for me. Jennifer is working from home full time now. She will not be going back to the office at all, with the exception of the rare occasion. So, having her little office space would be nice. Having my little studio space would be nice, so I can do the YouTube stuff a little more often, especially during the day. Let's see. It'd be nice to have like a special design kind of backyard where I could have like a specific fire pit, conversation pit kind of thing. Good sized yard, maybe a pool, something like that. Just I don't need anything big, no mansions. I'd probably travel a lot, but Let's see, 1 ticket in Illinois won the Mega Millions. Apparently, yeah. Well, wasn't Ray, unfortunately, but maybe next time. Let's see. I won maybe $8 in the lotto. I don't play scratchers. I don't play the number picks unless it gets to be like outrageous big, and I'm like, whatever. I'll throw $10 away just for the odd chance of maybe winning $1 billion. But for the most part, I just don't do those things. I'd rather spend my money on things that actually bring me something. I mean, I'd rather spend $20 taking Jennifer or one of my kids to go see a movie. That's time well spent to me. And while it would be great to win $1 bajillion and to be able to do a lot of the things I'd like to do with and for my kids, I mean, honestly, I'd rather spend some of that money going buying tickets to a ball game, or going out to a restaurant, or going to get some food and going to a park and just hanging out and spending time. It's inexpensive and it's important. So yeah, maybe $8. Yeah, it's more than I've ever won. It wasn't me, whoever was the rest of them. Yeah, spent $100 and won like 85. Yeah. Dude, that's the trick to the lottery, though. It's like they know that there's these people out there that are going to pour all that money back in, so it's not like they're losing it. It's almost an investment on their part. That's the crazy part about it all. Because there's a guy I work with. He's really big on the scratchers, and those are the biggest fucking ripoff. I haven't played them in probably 10 years, but I used to play like one here and there just for shits and giggles, just the odd chance that I would win a decent amount of money. But, I mean, he'll get off work and, with all his $100-something in tip money a night, he'll run right to a gas station and pour it all into lottery tickets. And I'm like, dude, how how do you pay your bills? It's like, how do you have a girlfriend? It's like, how do you do anything? Oh, I've won $800 before. I'm like, and I ask him, I was like, it's like he'll tell me, yeah, I won $500 on this scratcher last week. I'm like, well, how much money did you spend to get to that $500? Oh, well, I didn't spend that much. I'm like, well, if you don't know how much you spent, or if you don't want to admit how much you spent, then you probably spent more than $500. It means you lost money. So it's nice to get that gratification of the $500 ticket, but if you spent $800 to get it, you lost $300. That's how you got to see it. But some degenerate gamblers just don't see it that way. And it's kind of sad because a lot of people get trapped in some shit like that. Ray says he'd pay off his parents' house, so would I. Buy a house of my own, a modest one. Me too. I don't need to live in a mansion in Brentwood or anything. Start my own cologne line. Yeah, that sounds like you. And keep my newfound wealth low key. That's the trick. I mean, I've seen like there's a lot of documentaries and stuff. There was one on YouTube that I watched a year or so ago about this one guy who won not like a gigantic lottery. I think he won like I think it was pre-Powerball when each state kind of had their own thing, and he had won like 10 or 15 million bucks in the state lottery. And this guy, he was kind of old. He was in his, when I say kind of old, I mean he was not young. He was not old, but not young. He was probably in his late 50s. He would take like a briefcase full of like $20 bills into a strip club like every other day, and would just sit in a strip club all day and pay girls to dance and drink and throw his fucking money around. And it's like, that guy had millions of dollars and didn't put it to work. He didn't invest. He didn't try to leave anything for his family. He ended up hooking up with some younger girl that took like half his fucking money and bounced just one day, just out of nowhere. And the guy ended up dying broke. And I'm like, part of me is, and he died fairly young too, from what I remember. It wasn't like he lived into his 80s or 90s. He died like 6 or 8 years after he won the lottery. So it's not like so it sounds like he had all that money and didn't really enjoy it. He just did stuff to do stuff and didn't really find some way to enjoy. He didn't go travel the world. He didn't go see a different place. He didn't try to broaden himself at all. He just went to the fucking local strip club and spent money on dirty hoes. But what I mean, to each their own. To each their own. I said it's risk. If I took every dollar on is not big. If I took every dollar I'd ever spent on lottery, I could probably go buy a new car. And right now we're down to one car. That would be helpful. So, I mean, it's like I said, I have to throw on the odd change. It makes sense as long as I know I'm burning the money. But whatever. I mean, teach their own. Let's see, Tex says if I want to go back to Florida and do a week at Universal Studios and unlimited budget, I love it there. Yeah, I don't know. When I go to the movie studio tours, I've heard you don't see much, because I know a lot of people that have been like backstage of movie productions and things like that, and they're like the tours of the lots. They show stuff and they show history, but they're basically showing you the museum part of the studio. They don't show you a lot of the working part of the studio. So let's see. I only bought 2 tickets. One quick pick with the numbers. Let's see. Butterfly. Again, I'm doing this from my iPad out back. I'm not hardwired to the internet like I usually am on my PC. So, and I'm probably just far enough away where the Wi-Fi is can get a bit spotty. So hopefully it ends up not being a big deal. Let me move this. Maybe that'll help. But yeah, so that's might be why it's a bit spotty. But yeah, Ray says only bought 2 tickets, one quick pick, and one with the numbers I choose. Not worth balling out on the lotto. Yeah, like I said, I mean, dude, if you join one of those office things where you throw in your money and you go buy $200 for the tickets for everybody, I mean, that's cool. The problem with that is that almost always ends up in trouble as well, because so many times those things end up in lawsuits. Like somebody's like, well, I paid $10, he only paid $5, I should get twice as much money as him. And a lot of people end up arguing over that shit. It becomes like a big legal thing, and I wouldn't want to be involved in some stupid shit like that. So, I mean, whatever. Yeah, let's see, TSS, I don't play the lotto, but if I did win, the only thing it would change is that I would actually start making film quality content. Oh, for sure. Oh, for sure. I would absolutely. I mean, I would love to get like full time into doing some like independent film stuff. I mean, I'm still. I end up hitting like writer's block and end up getting distracted by life. So this thing that I've been trying to do with Jeremy keeps kind of getting pushed to the back burner. But I want to make sure I get that done because it would be a fun start. And maybe it wouldn't be a great thing. It would probably suck. It's probably going to be terrible. But I mean, it'd be a 10-minute long short movie about people getting killed in a haunted house. So I think it'd be fun to do. It'd be fun to really try to. It'd be fun to really try to make like a feature length film. I've got ideas. I've got a couple like story ideas. I mean, I actually in my Google Docs I actually have this one sheet where it's like if an idea comes to me, I'll go onto my phone because I can access Google Docs from my phone. I'll go on there and type like guy falls in love with whoever, blah blah blah, or whatever the idea is. Nothing like that. I don't write romantic shit. Not my thing. But and I'll write them in there, and then it's like every now and again I'll go look over them, and I'll read that idea again, and if something really pops at me, maybe I'll start writing. But if nothing pops, I just leave it there, thinking maybe one of these days I'll read that thing, and some really great idea to expand upon that'll be in my head, and it'll be cool. It'll turn into something awesome. Let's see. Text says Universal Studios Orlando theme park, not movie studio. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's like you go to the parks and they're designed to look cool, but I want authenticity. I actually want to see. I actually want to be on a movie set. I actually want to go see, the product being made because it's. I mean, it's cool because I grew up in California, so I've seen movies getting filmed before, and. I mean, because they film all over California. In my hometown, Santa Cruz, California, is a place where they did a lot of filming, especially in the 80s. But yeah, I mean, I want to see the process of filmmaking. I don't want to see the stuff that's decorated to look like it was in the Fast and Furious. I don't want to see the stuff that looks like it was decorated to be in a movie. I want to see the actual stuff. I want to see the thing being made. So, whatever. Let's see. Always been somewhat of a hustler. First thing I do is find something to invest in. Absolutely. The story of that guy is pretty sad. Well, I mean, part of me says, I mean, because as I recall, I think the guy was already retired. So it's like he was going to live fairly comfortably anyway. He had his pension from working his job for a lot of years. So, I mean, he probably would have lived fairly comfortable anyway. He wouldn't have had as much money to throw around at the strip club. But, I mean, he would have gone there once a week and, shaken a 20 at a dancer and, gotten his fun that way. And that's fine if that's what he wants to do with his life. After a guy's worked for his whole life, I mean, I think you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. But yeah, I mean, it's like you get that money and people take advantage of you. I mean, that's why you go look through history at the people who win the lottery and then don't identify themselves. Those are the people that end up doing really well because those are the people that are smart enough not only to not identify themselves publicly, but they're smart enough to put that money back to work to make more money. Because that money only lasts so long. You know what I mean? Let's see. Cora. What's up, Cora? Where am I at? My chat got away from me. See, Tex says I'd hire Rob Zombie to make my dream horror film. Well, just don't give him more than $40 million. And don't make it about the monsters. I really want that movie to be good, but I don't know, man. I don't know. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. Let's see. Cora got her dogs. Yep. How are the dogs, Cora? Tell them I said woof woof. Your dog pooped on the couch? Oh. Well, I've got this good fire burning. I've heard dog tastes good with barbecue sauce. So, if you need to take care of that, fire's right here. Cora says, if she ever... I missed Butterfly. I skipped him. Skip her. Let's see. They are making a film studio 30 minutes from Austin and San Marcos, Texas. It's going to be at 820,000 square feet. That's not small. That actually dude, there's a lot of filming that happens in Texas. As a matter of fact, there's some remote parts of Texas that, like, entire towns have sprung up because of just the movie filming industry. Texas, Arizona, and New Mexico have had that happen over the last, 100 years or so of filmmaking. Excuse me, my pour another glass of, hey, my good friend. Everybody say hi. Hi, Johnny Walker, Red Label. I don't have the good lighting to light up that label again. But anyway, here's some Johnny Walker. Everybody's out of Johnny. But yeah, I mean, there's entire industries that pop up around there. I mean, that's almost exactly what happened in Hollywood. A little bit of Johnny. Cut it down with a little bit of Pepsi because I don't want to get too fucked up. You gotta get up early. Well, early-ish for me, like, 10. But yeah, I mean, so there's entire economies that pop up in places that are popular for filming, especially New Mexico. I mean, I know New Mexico's had a couple places that, I mean, they have like not permanent sets. I know there's a set in, I think it's in New Mexico. I forget exactly where, that they built it predominantly to use for westerns, and I think they built it for one of the John Wayne movies back in the 60s. And I think it's been used in something like, I want to say like 40 or 50 Western set films over the years. They just keep going back to it and, touching it up here and there, adding on, subtracting, just kind of messing with it to give it a, and they just keep going back and using it. So, I mean, that's a set that's been in use for, 40, 50, 60 years. She's chewing on a box. Well, that's what puppies do. Live a simple life and still work. Yeah, I'd have to work. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day. I was like, I don't know what I'd do without work. I'm going to work to the day I die, not because I feel like I'm going to be hurting for money, it's because I'd be bored. I don't know what I would do without it. I mean, work gives you purpose. I think I've said on Derailed a couple of times, like the leading cause of death among elderly people is retirement. Because when you work, when you have a job, you feel you have a purpose, you have the will to go on. But when you don't have a purpose, your will to live tends to just disappear, and then when you get sick, you just wither away and die. I don't ever want to be one of those people. I'll work to the day I die. I mean, I don't want to die of a heart attack at work. Seems like a shitty way to go out, but I mean, if it gets me an extra 5 years, fucking hey, bro, bring it. It's extra 5 years I get to hang out with my kids. An extra 5 years might be able to, be the difference between me watching my kids walk down the aisle or have kids of their own. I mean, that's important. That, and I want to have purpose. I don't want to be a piece of shit just laying around. I mean, I go into rest homes every now and again. Thankfully, not so much the last 2 years because of COVID. If there's a silver lining to that cloud, this has definitely been it for me. But I mean, I walk through the halls of some of these places, and it's like I just see people that are there, and they're just like blobs of biology. They've given all that they can give to the world, and they're just waiting for the end, and it's sad. Like, part of me kind of understands what Kevorkian was doing. It's like, because I wouldn't want to be one of these people that's just like sitting there waiting for the end. You know what I mean? Let's see. My ideal way to die is death by dinosaur. Maybe. Do not use the Stream Elements link. Use the Stream Labs link if you're going to donate. I don't think anybody's going to, but make sure, I am not on Stream Elements right now. I'm on Stream Labs because I have Stream Labs, the app, on my iPad, which is what I'm using right now. There is no Stream Elements link. And I'm going to put a little bit more fire on, a little bit more wood on the fire. Let me... warm. Right there. I got that one still precariously holding up the entire shebang. I don't want it collapsing on me. That would be unfun. Ooh, that's warm. Ooh. Put this big joint in there too. Why not? While we're at it. Let it bind. We can go there, so we're going to put it right here. There we go. And I'll just shove that in deeper once that part burns. So yeah, a little bit more wood. Yeah, what's up? Let's see, so many people retire, then they get sick. Yeah, it's the truth. They retire, well, I mean, the flip side of that is some people work hard. I know when I got COVID, that came at a time where I was working a lot of hours. I mean, I was putting in a lot of work, and then like on the one off day I would have every week, I was out here banging it out in my yard, trying to keep my yard looking good. So, I was, I'm not gonna lie, that was a point where I was really, really tired, and I think my immune system was probably a little depressed, even though I was taking vitamin D and trying to lose weight and stuff like that to make it not a big deal. Now, fortunately, when I got COVID, it wasn't a big deal for me. I was really only sick for about 3 days, but I mean, yeah, being tired and old can really fuck with your immune system and everything. So take care of yourselves, even if you're getting on in years. Let's see. Ray says, if I were to get sick, I'd still work part-time, love my job, try to work some more on the writing, turn it into a career instead of a hobby. Fuck yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, this is a girl I work with who's 18. We were talking the other day, and she's trying to figure out where she's going in life and all that. And I was like, well, you have the creative the creative thing. She draws, she writes. I was like, you have things like that out there. And Ray, I don't know if you heard about this or not. There's this site called Substack, and a lot of people that were writing for big companies or big places like the Wall Street Journal and stuff that were becoming kind of disenfranchised with how media has gone over the years, the last several years. They kind of left those jobs and they went to Substack, and basically it's like you subscribe to this person for whatever they set, like $5 a month or whatever, and you can read their articles, read their writings and stuff like that. So I told her, I was like, put some of your writings on Substack, put them up there for free to start, build up a little of a base, and then put every other thing behind a paywall. And then eventually, next thing you know, people are subscribing to read your stuff. And just make sure you write one thing a week or one thing a month, however big you're writing. And, start making some money off your passion. And just do what you do, turn your passion into money. So few people get to do that anymore. So few people get to do whatever, Is it warm in Ohio tonight? I looked earlier, it was 65 degrees about 40 minutes ago, I think, when Butterfly asked me. So I would imagine it's dropped a degree or 2 cents, but it's pretty comfortable. I could go for it to be a little bit cooler since I'm sitting 5 feet from a fire. But not bad. Sitting out here in a t-shirt and my shorts, socks and shoes. That's it. It's a comfortable night. Had perfect weather here today. Yeah, it wasn't bad here today. It was still 85 and a tad on the humid side. But for the most part, it was actually kind of comfortable today. It wasn't bad. But we're getting the dog days of summer. We have some 90-degree weather coming up and a little bit of rain, so the humidity's going to be back soon. Our separate things. She does her crafty stuff. It'd be nice for her to have her own room, so she could have her office, and then have a table set aside to do her crafty stuff. But whatever. A lot of changes with Vince gone. I can imagine there'd be a lot of changes to come too. Let's see, watch the SummerSlam. It was surprisingly great. I don't imagine that there was too many changes made to this year's SummerSlam in the time that Vince made his announcement to the event starting. So I hope that Vince would get some of the credit for making SummerSlam great. But there is definitely going to be a sea change in what the WWE looks like from here on out. That's for sure. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll try watching more. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Drew had given me his password to WWE Network for a while, and I was trying to go back and watch some SummerSlams that I missed, some WrestleManias that I missed. It's just from not really watching since the early '90s. And I was doing it, and then they just sold out to the Peacock, and I'm not getting on Peacock for shit. So whatever. But maybe I'll try watch this a little more. I don't know. Let's see. Ray says I have to keep working out. 25 and I've gotten out of shape. Shit, I'm 46, bro. I've been out of shape for a while. Been working on getting back into it though. Yeah, I've lost about 50 pounds just cutting sugar out and trying to avoid carbs. Kind of plateaued a little bit because lately, life's just been busy lately. So sometimes the only thing I can do is to eat late at night and stop at McDonald's and grab a McDouble and a fry and a drink just to have something on my stomach. Not healthy, but it's better than not eating. But hopefully hopefully by the time the summer is done, things will have leveled out a bit and I can go back to doing some more cooking at home. Because that's been the biggest problem is we live kind of a busy life around here. Jennifer's got a lot of stuff going on even when she's not working. My stepdaughter, she's in Girl Scouts, basketball, cheerleading. She's training for that right now. What else has she got going on? Yeah, she's into a lot of shit. That's kind of just of it. She's into a lot of shit. So, there's always something going on. So it's always kind of quick dinners and, stuff like that. And usually, because my nights off obviously are Thursdays and Sundays. I work every other night of the week, obviously because those are the nights I'm doing the YouTube stuff. And the nights that I'm home, I try to cook at home. I know tomorrow, like I said earlier, I'll be making some potatoes, chorizo, and eggs. And I might make something else to go with it. I don't really know what. Maybe some beans. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I could eat chorizo and eggs by themselves all day long every day. But yeah, so I'll be cooking tomorrow. I've been kind of spoiled. My sister-in-law, Jackie's been here for the last week or so while they're making their transition, moving back up here from Texas. And she's very, very good in the kitchen. She's been kind of spoiling us with the cooking the last week or so. And she's also a very good baker. She makes some very, very good cakes. So if she does what she has been talking for the last couple of weeks about wanting to do, and maybe doing some some baking and selling some stuff online. I'll definitely be pimping her shit out because she makes some good stuff. Yeah, Cora, right now, I don't think you heard, right now I'm on my iPad in my backyard. I'm not hardwired to anything like I would be on my desktop at my desk, so the internet can be a little spotty here and there. I'm outside, the router's inside, and I think I'm kind of right on the limit of where the reach is, so it's had some buffering moments here and there. But for the most part, I don't think it's all that bad. I'm actually kind of impressed. I have a cheap little iPad mini. Jennifer got me one a while back. I told her I thought it'd be nice to have one to do some kind of stuff on the go without having to use my phone all the time. And this is before I got my new iPhone, too, because my old iPhone was getting kind of shitty. It was on its last legs, and I finally replaced it. But, so she went and just got me an iPad mini for like $100 on Amazon or some shit, and it's been good. I mean, I use it a lot, like, when I'm on stream and I want to look something up real quick because I don't want to burden my computer by having a whole lot of windows open. I'll jump over to, like, my web browser on the iPad real quick and look at some shit and whatever, and maybe I'll jump into the chat and stuff like that and type from there, whatever. But yeah, it's worked out pretty well. Let's see. The first SmackDown after he left, there were changes. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, there's going to be some immediate changes. There's going to be some that are going to take time. Compare the WWE a year from now to the WWE that is today, and I think you're going to see some very significant differences. But some of these things are going to take time. I think the biggest change obviously is going to be in talent. I mean, some people were there because of Vince, because of his name, because he was wrestling for decades. And some of those guys might move on because they feel like Vince was their guy. Some people are going to maybe get into the sport because they were like, now that Vince is gone and, there's so many hard feelings about him and steroids and Owen Hart and whatever that some guys are going to actually get into it, and you're going to see a whole new generation of wrestlers get inspired to get into it. It's going to take time to really understand and be able to measure the difference that this is going to have in the WWE. I'm interested. Like I said, I'm trying to watch. I'm interested to watch a little more now because I want to see the changes that are made. I kind of want to see them get back a little bit more to what was happening like in the transition from like the golden era of wrestling that I watched to like the Attitude Era, which is Cora. She says, I like to cook big meals and eat leftovers all week for lunch. So do I. Me and Jennifer joke about that all the time. It's like fresh and stuff like that. But I told her, I was like, there's no fucking way. there's no way that we can eat one serving and then be done eating for the night. That's just not what we do. It's not that we eat a lot. It's just like sometimes that piece of chicken and that spoonful of mashed potatoes really hit the spot. Maybe I want another small piece of chicken, another spoonful of mashed potatoes. It's whatever. So, I mean, maybe one of these days I'll do something like that. But because I know some people that do that Simply Fresh stuff and things like it, and they love it. And the food looks great, but I don't eat like a squirrel. I just don't do it. Let's see. Ray says, start my diet when I get back to Illinois. No more sweets and no carbs for me. One of the things that I realized, I cut out the sugar because the doctor said my blood sugar was a little high. So I've been cutting, and I was really starting to cut sugar out a little bit before that anyway. But once my doctor told me that, I was like, okay, time to cut sugar out altogether. So now instead of buying candy bars when I'm out and about, I'll eat I'll get the Speedway here is owned by 7-Eleven, and 7-Eleven sells these brand of cilantro lime nut peanuts or something like that, and those are really, really good. They're a little pricey for me, but they're a lot better than eating candy, so I go ahead and buy a couple bags of those and keep them in the car. But yeah, I mean, as far as the carbs, one of the things I noticed is I would go a couple of days where I would eat like a salad for lunch and like a steak for dinner, and then the next day, if I'm out and about during the day and I'm really busy, I might stop at McDonald's and get like a small burger and a fry and like a drink, and not like gorge myself. Just get enough to say that I ate to keep me going until I could get home and eat like another salad or some steak or whatever. And just those little bit of carbs was keeping my system kind of kicked up enough to where it was burning fat and everything for energy to keep me through my day. So I was kind of wondering if maybe it isn't like because what was the one thing I was doing? There's I love these little deep dish pizzas they make, the fucking Red Baron ones. Those are like my one vice that I still kind of allow myself to succumb to. It's like for a while I was eating like 2 of those for lunch, and then I'd have like a salad or something for dinner. And I don't usually eat breakfast because I don't usually wake up till about 10 or 11. And I don't usually get hungry till like 2 because I have to be up for a while and moving before my appetite starts to kick in. And I noticed just cutting my carbs and like giving it those little doses of carbohydrates was kind of kicking my body into burning. So maybe that's just kind of like a modified low-carb Atkins thing. Yeah, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. I can't make any fucking sense out of it at all. So I may be totally wrong. Maybe it's just my physiology, but it was something that was working for me. And I was losing a couple pounds here, a couple pounds there. I wasn't losing a lot of weight at once, but I felt like I was satisfied in what I was eating, and I was still enjoying some foods here and there. So I don't know. I mean, maybe you could experiment like that and maybe get some of the similar results. I don't really know. Let's see. Gonna miss the Reese Cups? Fuck yeah. Oh, God, I love Reese Cups. I haven't had a Reese Cup in a while. Let's see. I love peanut butter. I'm not a fan of chocolate, so you can have my share, Ray. The sad part is peanut butter gets kind of high in carbs, too. So I have to kind of limit myself in the peanut butter. Because one of my favorite kind of like cheat snacks, especially late at night, if I just wanted something really quick to eat before I went to bed, was like a peanut butter and honey sandwich. Something my family in the South in Mississippi turned me on to, and that's fantastic. So yeah, I've had to cut out peanut butter too. Peanut butter, Thai sauce, rice noodles, veggies, grilled chicken. Yep, that works. I'm a big fan of pad Thai. Pure Country, what's up? Yeah, I'm up kind of late, just doing a little bullshit session. Yeah, what's going on with you, my brother? It said they let commentary loose to speak more freely and make references to wrestlers in the past who did leave the company, being less careful and candid and giving play-by-play. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, it's hard for me to know exactly what you're talking about because I haven't watched wrestling religiously like a lot of you guys have for a long time. So it's hard for me to say for sure exactly how big the differences were from what was 2 weeks ago before Vince's big announcement to what is now that Vince has departed the company. So I'll take your word for it. I mean, like I said, I'm going to try to watch a little more because I'm interested to see how wrestling reacts, and I'm interested to see what wrestling as a whole does in reaction to all this. Because it's like Jesus Christ, it's like, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a sports figure in their sport that was as significant to the growth of it as Vince McMahon was. In football, maybe Al Davis, but Al Davis, I think, even was kind of in the same spot. It's like he was kind of irrelevant to the game of football when he passed away, and the game had kind of gotten away from him. And maybe I think I had mentioned this when we were talking about it a week or so ago, is maybe that's kind of what happened with Vince. Maybe he was great in the 80s and 90s when wrestling was hitting its peak, but eventually what we do kind of gets away from all of us. This is why we have a thing called retirement. It comes to the point where we just kind of, what we're doing is kind of moves on beyond us, and we don't have the same grasp of it. So maybe that's just kind of where Vince found himself. And, of course, fucking around with women and doing shit, but, whatever. I mean, not to say that Vince wouldn't have retired anyway. I personally don't think he would have retired, but whatever. Let's see. That was one of the... what did I miss? Butterflies talking to Ray. I'm trying to cut out energy drinks. Energy drinks are bad. I can't do energy drinks. Every now and again I used to eat these. I used to drink these Stinger Mo Rippets because they were like super sugary, and that was when I was working a job where I had to get up at 4:30 every morning and then be on the plant floor by 6. And I am not a morning person. For those of you who don't know, I cannot stand getting up before my body is ready. If I have to get up early for anything, it's like I am just dead to the world all fucking day. I can never get enough energy to do anything that I want to do. And so yeah, that was kind of what I did. I would drink 2 or 3 of those like in the first half of the day, and then I'd get off work at 2:30. I'd go home and start to kind of unwind. But they always left me feeling really shitty. I noticed that when I stopped drinking those and just kind of like dealt with the mornings, that I felt a lot better in the afternoons, especially when back when I was coaching youth baseball and stuff like that. I had a lot more energy to go deal with my practices and games. So, yeah, it's those are just bad. They're not good at all. Let's see. I do not like to eat a big lunch while I'm at work. I don't have time to eat a big lunch while I'm at work. Let's see. I'm trying to cut out energy drinks. Yeah, I read that already. Last one I had, my heart was beating on my chest. Oh yeah, that's the other thing is they're terrible. They're terrible for your heart. I've only had Red Bull once. It was way too much energy and it freaked me out. Honestly, Red Bulls have never done anything for me. I've had a couple here and there. Oddly enough, my brother makes this, he mixes Red Bull with vodka and something else to make like a mixed drink. It doesn't taste terrible. I haven't had it in a long time, and he is currently overseas doing his thing with the Air Force right now, so I'm probably not going to get one until after he gets back early 2023. But yeah, I don't know, next time I talk to him, I'll try to figure out exactly what that is. Let's see, too much energy freaks me out. It seems like those monsters, one tiny 5-hour energy ones, more popular, but I wonder if they would mess up your sleep cycle. I've had honestly, I've drank those 5-hour energies a couple times. They've never done anything for me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm still a little too fat for them. Jennifer's used them from time to time, and they seem to work for her, but I don't know. Maybe your physiology reacts differently to everything, so whatever. Let's see, I'm also cutting out fast food, too. It's getting crazy expensive. Very true, very true. I can make my own stuff at the crib for cheaper. Fuck yeah. It's like, dude, I can get, for the price of what it would take for me and my kids and Jennifer to go to McDonald's, I can get enough stuff to make banging-ass hamburgers for like 2 or 3 days. And it's like, and all I have to do is, mix in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some onion powder, and just like, and a little bit of brown sugar, just to kind of like so it caramelizes the outside of the meat, keeps all juices in, and then a little bit of pepper, and that's it. That's all you need. I mean, McDonald's. Everybody says McDonald's is addictive. All they do is they put salt and pepper on their meat. Salt and pepper brings out the flavor of beef. It's a very simple thing, and that's what McDonald's does. They put salt and pepper on it, and that's why their burgers are so good. But yeah, I mean, as much as I could spend on one trip for all of us to eat one meal at McDonald's, I can get enough stuff to make some banging ass food for like 2 or 3 days at my house. So I mean, it's one thing to have McDonald's when you're on the go, there's nothing else to eat, or it's fucking 2 o'clock in the morning like it is here, and you don't want to eat out, but whatever. I mean, let's see, scrolling through some of these. I think Vince was great till the early 2000s. He needed to go. Yeah, like I said, I mean, eventually, and again, I'll go to the example of Al Davis. It's like he was very, very important to the NFL. He was very, very important to the merger of the NFL and the AFL back in the 60s, 70s, and early 80s. But the game got away from him. It evolved past where he was able to see things, but he always thought that he was still smarter than everything else in the game. And that's one of the reasons why the Raiders sucked for so long, is because he was making dumb decisions that would have worked out great in 1975, but in 2002 weren't working out so great. So, yeah, eventually what you're doing just gets past you. Let's see. Energy drinks with alcohol is really bad for the heart. I mean, yeah, I don't drink energy drinks at all anymore. It's an upper with a downer. Be careful. Yeah, I don't drink those very often. Honestly, the only thing I drink anymore, it's like I'll drink my straight stuff. I don't usually drink a lot when we're on our streams. It's a rarity that I do it on Thursday nights. But like on Drew's, it's like I might pour a Jack and Coke. I might pour some straight whiskey. I've got a bottle of Dewards in there that's getting towards the end. I think I might finish that off someday. We'll see. But yeah, I just drink the straight liquor, and honestly, the only time I drink at all anymore really is Sunday nights, and I haven't really been drinking that much on Sunday nights for a while either. So yeah, and not that I have anything against drinking or that I'm trying to cut it out. I just haven't. I don't know. It's like every now and again you just don't want to drink. Sometimes I just want to drink a soda. Sometimes I drink water. Sometimes I want to drink tea. It changes every day. Let's see. Groceries going up too. It's tough on the budget. Yeah, no shit. I was talking to somebody at work today. I'm thinking about changing my role at my job to try to adjust, because like the job that I do now, it's kind of hard to justify putting the gas and all that. Thinking about changing my role at the store that I work at to try to adjust, try to make things make sense financially. Frank, next time you diet, try eating fruit and oatmeal in the mornings, so your body has something to go off of. The fruit I'm down with. Oatmeal, I mean, I like oatmeal. It's just sometimes when I get up I don't feel like cooking. Look, I'm getting old. When I wake up, it takes me a couple hours to really get going. If I get up, and like the last time we moved, I made this mistake. I woke up at 6 in the morning, and I was like, look, I hate moving. Moving is fucking terrible. It's a terrible experience. I don't know, I hate doing it. So I woke up at 6 in the morning, and I was like, I'm going to bang this out now and get it the fuck done. And I went from 6 in the morning, I jumped right out of bed, and full head of steam, I went down the stairs, moved everything. We were done by like 4 in the afternoon. And by the time I moved that last box in, I swear to God, I thought I was going to fucking die. I had nothing left. I sat there on the couch and was like, it's like the TV, nothing was plugged in. I just sat there. I didn't want to move. I didn't want to grab my phone. I was just dead. So and that's what happens when I get up and I go right to doing stuff, is like I burn out real fast. It takes me a good hour or two to kind of like get my gumption up to kind of go do what I need to do. Now, when I do that, I can go for hours and still be tired at the end of the day, but feel fine. But yeah, if I get right up and start going to work, it's tough. I need a couple hours to get my body going. They have some soy in their meat too. Yes, they do. They do. But I mean, well, that's filler to help keep costs down. I get it, but it's whatever. Let's see. I love oatmeal, Ray. I put nuts and fruit in it. Yeah, I mean, I like oatmeal. Oatmeal's good. I just don't use it very often. Make a sandwich for lunch. That's what I do. Drop weight easy. Well, like I said, honestly, one of the things I do is I go to like Walmart's got these Santa Fe salads that I really like. They're like $5 a piece, and they're big. They can kind of feed two. But I mean, me being a bigger guy, I want more salad. And what I'll do is I'll go and get like some more dressing, and I'll put a little more cheese on it. Maybe I'll chop up some bacon and put it in there. And it comes with like some seasoned chicken and some corn and shit like that, little sliced chips, whatever. And I'll just pound down that salad. And that's a good salad that'll keep me going for a few hours. I mean, I won't feel hungry for a while after that. And another thing that I've been doing lately, and I've been doing it off and on for the last year or so, but one of the things I'll do is when I start to get hungry, I'll try to keep powering through until I get really hungry. It's like I won't eat just because it's time to eat. I'll like keep doing stuff even when I'm hungry, just to like, not to punish myself, but just to burn a few more calories, burn a little bit more energy, so that when I do eat, I'm not just eating and then like sitting on all that shit. You know what I mean? Let's see. Half a cup of wine, and wine's purchased this week for the first time in a year. I drink any alcohol. It was nice. Yeah, I constantly keep a bottle of, multiple bottles of alcohol somewhere in my house. Let's see. I always like to get those P3 things. The meat. So do I. Meat, cheese, and nuts. Good for protein. Yeah, I used to keep 3 or 4 of those in my fridge, and if I was like running errands and doing stuff, I'd pop in real quick and grab one of those and eat them. When I was working at the factory, when I had to get up at 4:30 in the morning, I would take 2 or 3 of those to work, and like on my break, my 15-minute morning break, I'd eat one of those. Hey, there's a bug zapper going off. I haven't heard the bug zapper in a while, but I'd eat 1 or 2 of those just to keep myself going, and then I'd go home and eat like a healthier dinner, and that helped a lot too. But yeah, I do love those things. They're pretty good. My kids like those too, which is kind of nice. Let's see. Wine, P3 things. Cheese is great in a pinch for protein. Yeah, Jennifer's been eating a lot of cheese lately. She's been going to get a bag of those Bluebell cheeses. The ones that come in those little red discs that you peel the thing off and you eat them. She's been snacking on those a lot lately. She likes them. I hate cooking in the morning too, so I usually do a banana and a granola bar, and I'm good until lunch. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I do. I generally will keep some fruit around the house. Alternate between like oranges. Right now there's some bananas over there on the counter. Some apples. One of the things I was doing for a while is I was going to Walmart, and for like $5 you get that tray of like a regular melon, like cantaloupe. And I kind of thought to myself, I was like, you can get a cantaloupe for like $2. I was like, why don't I just buy 2 of those things for $4 and slice up like a giant fucking bowl of cantaloupe? It'll last me for like 3 or 4 days instead of spending $5 on one of these things that I bashed down in like one sitting. But right now there's bananas in there because that's what my sister-in-law has been buying on. And bananas are good because you can your muscles. So I need muscles. I need potassium. I like black beans and salad. So do I. Black beans are good. I had to help an older coworker move from an upstairs apartment to a trailer after moving her couch, bed, and love seat. I was dead to the world, dude. I'm telling you, man, getting a hold isn't for fucking softies. It's significant. Yeah, I never in a million years thought I would see myself get to 40. So this is a very unique point in life for me that I never thought I would get to. Let's see if I can get this in there without fucking everything up. I've never seen it. Yeah, kind of. There we go. That's going to collapse any time now. I've actually managed to burn a good piece of that really shitty waterlogged dead log. It's working out pretty nice. So, good burn today. Good burn. But yeah, like I said, moving sucks. I hate moving. Me and Jennifer were joking the other day. We were talking about if we won the lottery. I was just like, well, I tell you, the one thing we'd do is we'd build a house, and we would hire a mover because I hate moving. I absolutely hate doing it. That's one of the reasons, like I said, that last time we moved, I got up at 6 in the morning because I just wanted to get out of the way. I just hate doing it. And it sucks, but that's the world, I guess. Let's see, oatmeal pancakes with my Keurig in a hurry. Oh yeah. Yeah, oatmeal pancakes good. Let's see, moving bit stuff sucks, it does. I love salad, but I load that joint up with croutons, though. I like croutons, but I can have a salad without them. I mean, my problem, honestly, is the dressing, because I like the spicy ranch dressing or the chipotle ranch dressing from what is it? Not Hidden Valley Farms, whatever it is. The big name brand. I like that stuff, and I know that stuff's probably a little bit higher in calories and stuff, but, I mean, I like spice, and I don't like the little spoonful of dressing that they tend to give you for salads because it doesn't cover. Oh hey, get it! Fucking bug zapper just barbecued the fuck out of some bug. But yeah, I want enough dressing to where there's a good bit on every piece of lettuce so that I can get the flavor. You know what I mean? So that's my biggest problem. Is I know salad dressing itself is not the healthiest thing in the world, but I have to have enough. Let's see. Ever tried crunched up tortilla chips? And oh yeah, I've been doing that since I was a kid. The baby bells. Yes, those are the ones that the black white cheddar. White cheddar. She. I don't know which one she gets. I haven't eaten any of them, but she gets the ones that are like the red wrapper. I don't know exactly what kind they are. I think they're mozzarella. Jennifer's always had a thing for mozzarella and provolone. Those are her two big cheeses. Mozzarella and provolone if I'm putting them on something to cook, and if I'm making like for sandwiches and stuff, she likes Colby Jack. So that's what she digs. The one person who volunteered to help her, yeah, I've been there. No one else would. She needed someone to drive a 20-foot box truck. Yeah, I get caught and stuff like that too. Let's see, Frank hasn't burned the house down yet. I'm proud. Well, I'm a good probably 10, 20, 30. I'm a good 40 feet away from my back door. So, yeah. I mean, I worry a bit about the embers because just past the brush line in the back that you can't really see because the lighting sucks, there's a big plot of land where these two elderly people live, and they actually have like a whole like garden farming thing going on over there that I'm really jealous of because I would love to have enough room to grow some of my own stuff. Well, on a small scale, not a big scale, but on a small scale. To my right over here, as you're looking at the fire, my neighbors who are pretty cool. They're nice people. I think he's from Australia. Not 100% sure, but they're pretty cool. To the left, my neighbors are pretty cool. I talk to them every now and again. I actually talked to the other dude yesterday about my yard. But yeah, no, I'm definitely out here away from anything that could significantly burn. Not to mention my hose is only about 100 feet away. I can run over there, and I actually think my faucet is still on because I was watering my grass when I got home a little bit. And yeah, so I could very easily go get the hose and bring it back here and douse this fire if anything that wasn't supposed to burn was to start burning. Randy Viper, what's up, my brother? So, I saw you at SummerSlam, that Roman Rock match. No, I wasn't there. Honestly, though, the last couple, not so much the last couple of years, but I mean, after I found Drew's show and started talking to guys like Joe and everybody in this community that are big wrestling fans, I've been kind of looking around to maybe go to another wrestling event. I was starting to look around a little bit when the whole Corona thing popped off, and obviously there was no events happening for a while. But now that we're getting back into some of these live events, I'm kind of eyeballing to when they come around here. There's this place that's about 5 minutes up the road called the Nutter Center. That was actually where they had the first King of the Ring. I was actually there for the first King of the Ring. I was there when Bret Hart won and got attacked by Jerry Lawler right as the pay-per-view was wrapping up. So if you guys go watch that on either Peacock or whatever the WWE network is now, you might catch a glimpse of me towards the end. I am somewhere close to where the throne was. Like, if you're walking out of the locker area, if you're one of the wrestlers walking down the aisle to the ring, I would have been to your left, probably about 4 or 5 rows away-ish. Me and my brother were there when he was young. I wanted to go, so I bought tickets for me and him. I was 15 or 16 at the time. I was working, and I wanted to go. And I was still kind of into wrestling at the time, so I was like, yeah, I want to go. So my brother went. So, yes, I was there. My brother was one of the people that was throwing nacho chips at Yokozuna. I think that night he beat Hulk Hogan, as I recall. It's been a long time, so if I'm wrong, forgive me. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, I was there. So yeah, I definitely want to go check out some more stuff. Sorry, I nudged my thing. I'll make sure you guys get a good view of the far. But yeah, I want to go to more stuff. I think it'd be fun. I lost where the fuck I was at. Let's see. Very nice of you, Pure Country, to help out people in need. Sometimes I don't do it. It's like, let's see, I'll never move my own big fur again. I'm over 40. I'll hire people. Oh yeah, as much as I want to say I'm going to hire people next time I move, bottom line is that's an expensive proposition, and I don't want to spend that kind of money on it. But let's see. He was taking selfies with Brock and Roman. Yeah, because I'm so famous that they want to take selfies with me. Let's see. Oops, kick my thing. Sorry. Put cottage cheese in salads to add moisture. I do not like cottage cheese. I've had it several times. Tried it several times, several ways. Cottage cheese with fruit. Cottage cheese. I know some people put cottage cheese in their lasagna. Not a fan. I always just use ricotta. I think ricotta tastes much, much better. Also, I like the texture a lot better with lasagna. I think it goes better than cottage cheese. Just me. Not a big fan of cottage cheese. You guys eat all the cottage cheese you want. I know it's good for you. It's just not my thing. Honestly, really, it's more of a texture thing. I just can't get with it. Where did didn't I bring more Pepsi out here? Or did I only bring the one thing? I could have swore I brought, oh, there it is right there. Okay. I hid my own drink for me. I am a douche nozzle. Ooh. Good thing, too. I just finished that bottle. What else is going on? Cottage cheese. 40 years old. I'm 40 years old. I'm still able to do stuff like that. Well, I'm 46, and I'm starting to feel it. Yeah, I honestly, it's like I never saw myself living to be 30. I mean, all the stupid stuff I did when I was a teenager and stuff like that. It's like so many people I knew, so many family members, so many other people I knew around the neighborhoods didn't make it to 30 because all the dumb shit that we were involved in. So it's like, to me, it was like, if you hit 30, you were like fucking elderly. You were old. And that's when they started calling you old school back in the neighborhoods, you know? But now here I am at 46. I'm 3,000 miles away from the life that I once had. Surreal. Yeah, so it's very uncharted territory for me. I never planned for this, but I mean, I dig a lot of it. I mean, it's nice to have my kids. It's nice to do stuff and not get shot at. It's fun that way. Let's see. I can do if they want to. Rainy Viper says, saying hi, Rainy Viper. Thanks. There's 7 people watching right now. I'm actually kind of surprised. Derek Hans, what's up, my brother? You're going to be 44 in 5 days. Shit, dude, we're getting old. We are getting old. Yeah, it's this getting old business kind of sucks. As I take a drink of my drink here. Oh, I had it filled right up to the brim. I had to drink that down a bit. But, yeah, this is getting old stuff, man. It's not for the weak. Not at all for the weak. Yeah, I can't, being over 40 is becoming cooler. Well, I mean, they say that 40 is the new 20, 50 is the new 30, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think those things are kind of stupid. I mean, it's like, look, life is different for everybody. I mean, some people, I know people are in their 60s or 70s. Those people fucking bang. Those people bang it out. I wouldn't fuck with those people at all. They're still strong, healthy. They're killing it. I know people that are like my age and a little bit younger, and they're falling apart. It's just because, life experiences are different. You know what I mean? It's like some of these guys, especially some of these guys I know that were in the military. I mean, they were, in country doing all kinds, some crazy shit. Their bodies are a little broken, And I know people that, they worked in factories and stuff for most of their lives doing heavy work. So it's something. I mean, what you choose to do with your life can, have a big time impact on how your body reacts to aging. And I know for me personally, always being kind of a bigger guy, especially being a bigger kid, and playing every sport that I could possibly play when I was young. I mean, sure, when I was 14, 15, I could play a doubleheader and, go to sleep and wake up the next morning and do it all over again. But the last time I tried to play a doubleheader softball game, I was probably about right around the time I turned 40. And I didn't play a doubleheader. I played an all-night tournament. And we didn't start. I think we played 4 games that night, and the last game didn't start until 2 in the morning. And dude, I was dead for a week after that. I mean, like I hurt like for the first 2 days after that. That was a Saturday night. All day Sunday, I just sat. I couldn't move. And then Monday, I went to work and felt like absolute ass. And it was probably like Wednesday or Thursday of that week that I felt like I could function at any kind of a respectable level. I mean, it's just getting old. But like I said, when I was 15, I could play a baseball tournament in 90-degree heat. Play 4 or 5 games over the course of 2 or 3 days, and by Monday I felt great. But now, fuck that. Knees hurt, elbows hurt, shoulder hurts. It's like I can't throw a ball the way I used to. I mean, hell, if I swing the bat too many times in a day, it's like I feel it in my shoulders and in my chest. It's like, dude, it's terrible. But it's fun. It hurts like hell. But it's the hurt that comes from having fun and doing something productive. Derek says, I feel it some days. Yeah, like some days I feel good. Some days I, feel like I'm about ready to keel over. I don't know, I guess that's kind of what happens when you get to, I just turned 46 a couple weeks ago. And, and I'm kind of seeing it in my parents. My parents were kind of young when I was born. I think my dad was 19 and my mom was 16. So they're not a whole lot older than I am. But I'm getting like a good view of what's in my very near future when I watch my parents deal with their aches and pains. And it's not fun. It's not fun. I'm not looking forward to it. But, my dad's still up and kicking. He's retired now, but he's still up and kicking. He does his things. He mows the yard. He does his things around the house to try to stay as active as he can for being a retired guy. Yeah. text you, young buck. You're going to be 35 in a few days. Pure Country, sent you pics of your doppelganger. There's a SummerSlam on Twitter. I'll have to look at those here in a minute. Text says I'll be 35 in a few days. Don't feel any different than I did when I was 25, but I stay active. You know, that's the one thing I've been trying to do the last couple of years is get more active. Because about the time that Jennifer and I started dating, I stopped playing softball and started coaching baseball. And coaching baseball, for those of you who ever coached a sport, it is not, I mean, it's almost a full-time job. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. So there was, and I knew very, very soon that there was going to be no time for me to do both. So I was like, well, I'm going to sacrifice my playing because I want to coach. And at the time, my son was still playing, and I wanted to coach him his last couple of years because I didn't like the way his coaches were developing him. And now he doesn't play anymore, which is, you know, whatever. Now he smokes weed and chases chicks. But I did kind of the same thing when I was his age, so he'll grow out of it eventually. But I mean, yeah, I didn't like the way he was being coached. He was a lefty who liked to throw sidearm, and they made him come up to a three-quarter motion, and I was like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? The lefty that throws sidearm with power? It's like, that's a $2 million a year arm right there in the big leagues. But, yeah, and on top of that, I like to teach these kids how to play baseball. I mean, baseball's a passion. It's not just something I did because I wanted to be professional at it. It's a passion. I always enjoyed it. So I don't coach anymore, but, I mean, I don't really have the time to play. And, I mean, a couple of my friends have said, hey, you know, just if you want to come play, just show up at the field one day and I'll put you on my roster. And, you know, you can play first base, whatever. Do whatever, get a few at-bats, just get back into the swing of things. And I'd love to, but I work most nights. And unless I make this job change, I'm not going to have my nights free anytime soon. And to be absolutely honest, I'm so wrapped up in trying to grow the channel now. It's like if I had an extra free night a week, I would probably, at least every other week, try to do some YouTube stuff. So, I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll get back out of the diamond and do some stuff. Let's see, I love my old man chair. Oh, yeah. I gotta skip a few things. Let's see, you're still young, Tex. Yeah, you bastard. I envy your youngness. You're still wet behind the ears, still a young pup. Kinda, yeah. I love my old man chair. Oh, yeah, I need to get me a good recliner. I haven't had a good recliner in a long time. I was always told that what you do in your teens and 20s will come back on you in your 40s and your 50s. Oh, dude, you have no fucking clue. And you know what's funny? It's like, when I was a kid, I used to always like Pete Rose because they called him Charlie Hustle. He was one of those guys that would throw his body all over the place, and I was the same way. I mean, it's like I played every sport that I could. I played rough. You know, I had size. They would say use your size, and so I would. And I mean, while I didn't play a whole lot of soccer, it's like I played soccer in gym class. It wasn't really my sport. Soccer wasn't a big thing when I was a kid in the '80s, at least not in California anyway. Now it's huge everywhere, but. Yeah, I mean, I always played hard. I mean, I didn't know any other way to play. I mean, I don't like when people go out there and half-ass it. It's not really a way to achieve greatness. And I always wanted to be better than everybody else. I needed to be better than everybody else. I had to play harder than everybody else. And playing hard meant throwing yourself against a wall, throwing yourself against people, throwing yourself around the field, and that's what I did. So now I'm kind of paying for it with my knees. My knees have gotten better over the last couple of years since I stopped actively playing, but they still get achy. I still have some ankle issues, especially on my left ankle that I actually hurt when I was a teenager doing some construction stuff. So that's still kind of giving me some fits. Like I said, the shoulder and the arm, like my throwing arm, is not what it used to be at all. Part of me kind of wonders if I damaged it at some point, just didn't know it. But yeah. I mean, treat yourself good for as long as you can. That's all I'm saying. Connor, what's up, Connor? Yeah, hey, getting old too, brother. Trying to take care of myself as much as I can while I'm young. Yeah, but at the same time, you got to enjoy yourself. I mean, I regret throwing myself around when I was a young kid playing sports? Fuck no. You know how many championships we won? It's like, I mean, it's like I wouldn't give any of that shit. I wouldn't give any of that back for nothing. I mean, if you gave me 3 of these fucking Powerball things all at one time and said all you got to do is erase everything you did when you were like in the 13 to 15-year-old range, fuck you. You can have that money. I have so many great memories of going out there with my friends and just killing it. About 2 a days and, you know, celebrating those big wins and being pissed off about the big losses. I wouldn't trade that shit for all the money in the world. Not for a fucking minute. Let's see. Connor says, started going to the gym 3 times a week, try to outrun the Grim Reaper. I'm actually doing some stuff here at the house. I actually have an app on my phone that I don't put my weight in there to track it because for some reason it does it in kilograms and it won't let me do it, or kilograms or whatever, and it won't let me convert it to pounds. I don't know why. Maybe there's a glitch in the app, I don't know. But it's just like, it gives you these targeted things that you can do for like your abs or your back or your legs. I've been trying to roll through those here and there, but like I said, I don't always have time. Derek says, I'm starting to see I can't stay up super late and get up at 5 a.m. for work. I don't think I could ever do that. It's like, yeah, I'm not a morning person. Like, even when I was working like that one job where I had to get up at 4:30, I would go to bed at like 9 and still get up at 4:30 and feel like I'm dead. I feel like if I managed to get 8 hours of sleep, excuse me, I still felt like absolute ass. So I was just like, mornings aren't my thing. It's just the way it goes. Let's see, 3 times a week is good. I need to get back in the gym. I really do. Don't need to go every day. As long as you're active, you'll be okay. Yeah, that's true. I definitely need to go back to the gym. I had a membership at the Y for a long time before COVID started, and I was out there 2 or 3 times a week. A little bit of bike. I was starting to do some more weights. I was talking to one of the guys there who's like a personal trainer about maybe doing some stuff once or twice a week with him. And then, the Rona happened and everything closed, and that all kind of went by the wayside, and I haven't been back to the gym since. But they did just open a new Planet Fitness right down the street from where I live, and I had a membership there several years ago. But the reason I stopped going is because the closest one was far enough away that it was kind of an annoyance to go. I mean, it wasn't hard. It was kind of like it was way out of my way to like leave work at 2:30 when I was working my early morning job. I would get to the gym at like 3, maybe 3:10, and then work out for an hour, do some cardio, do a little bit of weight stuff, and then grab a shower and head home. But it was just out of the way enough to where it was a bit of an annoyance. So when my membership lapsed there, I just didn't go back to do it again. But now they have a Planet Fitness that's 5 minutes down the street from my house, so I might have to get back in there. I don't know. Let's see. Joe says he works second shift. Yeah, me too. I hate, the only reason I hate working the nights, the second shift, is because I miss a lot of shit. There's a lot of shit that Jennifer wants to do that I'm not around for, little gatherings and whatnot, because I have to be at work. And of course, the only 2 nights off that I have at work, that I have from work, it's Thursdays when I'm doing my stuff, and then Sundays when I'm doing Drew's stuff. During the day, Sunday, my kids come over and we do whatever, and we do yard work, or we just party. We paint. My daughter likes to paint. We might end up painting at some point tomorrow, but got a few canvases left. But I mean, for the most part, I'm always, it's like my 2 days off, the only 2 days I have to YouTube, so that's kind of what I end up doing. It kind of pisses Jennifer off sometimes, but that's the nature of the beast. It mainly uses as a great outlet for mental health, says Connor. Yeah, it's a good thing too. While trying to keep bodies somewhat healthy too. Yeah, honestly, what I've been thinking of doing is to get some stuff to work, just some dumbbells to keep at home. I mean, because I'd use them. My son would use them. I think my youngest son would probably come over and use them pretty regularly. Jennifer bought an exercise bike from her friend that she never uses, but it's like I get on it every now and again just to get my heart going. So, yeah, I'd like to get some stuff just to keep it home. I mean, I've heard Joe Rogan talk about how you can get a really good workout just from like a kettlebell. So if you can go spend $30 or $40 on a kettlebell or whatever they cost, just get like a 8 or 10 pound kettlebell, and there's like lists of exercises you can do at home with just a kettlebell that are great for your body. Let's see what else is going on. I used to coach 5th, 6th grade lacrosse for 3 years. My parents killed my passion for it. Lacrosse is an interesting sport to me. It's a sport that I've always thought would be interesting to get into, but I don't really know much about it. I like watching lacrosse, water, and see what's going on the YouTubes. But yeah, lacrosse is it's an interesting sport. It's one that I've always wanted to learn more about, because I've watched people play. I had some friends in high school that played lacrosse, and it's surprisingly rough for a sport that looks like it's for dainty little white men. It's a sport that was I watched them play a couple times, and it was not for the weak, not for the kind of heart. It's kind of an aggressive sport. Let's see. Joe Compton says my knees and back are what hurt. Yeah, me too. Between the military and rolling a Ford Explorer doing 70 miles an hour, my body is racked with pain. That'll do it. I mean, the military alone will do it. Let's see. Connor, what a puppy. She's driving me nuts. Hey, I've already decided, Cora, that I can't have a dog at the house that we live in now because we have all wood floors, and the people that own the house are like, no clawed animals. And I was like, okay, that's fine. That's actually one of the reasons I picked this house, because I didn't want Jennifer and her daughter to give me shit about getting a dog. I wanted to put that off for a while. But I said if we move anytime soon, that we will definitely find a place where we can get a dog, and I'm going to get a Cocker Spaniel. The reason I'm getting a Cocker Spaniel is because my Aunt Diane had Cocker Spaniels forever when I was a kid, and she had one particular Cocker Spaniel named Gypsy that was like my best fucking friend. Every time I'd go over there, me and Gypsy were fucking inseparable. Gypsy, of course, has been dead for many, many years. I mean, this is back when I was like 10, so I mean, it's been 30-something years ago. But ever since then, I've always wanted my own Cocker Spaniel. So I will eventually surprise Jennifer and my stepdaughter Maria with a Cocker Spaniel. I've already got the name. Her name's going to be Nikita, after my favorite Elton John song. It's a great video too. Let's see what we got going on. My family barely tolerates me, Cora. Again, they like the puppy more. Yeah. See, get the puppy, and they love you for getting them the puppy, so you get love ipso facto. You know what I mean? I go to Planet Fitness now, says Connor. It's decent money. Yeah, it's actually not bad. It's like $20 a month for a black membership, and I get total access to the entire place. And I can take people there for like $5 a visit. So whatever. And you can go to a ton of them all over the place. That's true. I wish there were more that were 24 hours. Well, I mean, the one around here, I don't know what they are where you live, but the one around here, they're open 24 hours Monday through Thursday, or Sunday through Thursday. And Friday and Saturday, I think they close at 11 or something like that, or midnight or some shit like that. I don't know. But I mean, I probably wouldn't go that time of the weekend to work out anyway, so I'm not too bothered by it. My son's actually got a membership there. He's been going there pretty regularly. He also goes to his friend's gym that he goes to because they do some heavier shit, and he's trying to get yoked so that he can pick up chicks, I'm guessing. But let's see, everyone says that about me too. Not so bad, just exhausting. Not my parents, it was the kids' parents that I coached. They were awful to deal with. I'm not going to lie, that's why I stopped coaching baseball. For one, look, it's kind of multifaceted. The league, I live in this town where, I mean, look, I live in Ohio. Baseball's not the biggest sport in Ohio. Football and basketball kind of dominate this place, and it's Midwest, so it's not unusual. Makes sense. But I mean, these parents are fucking awful. And the last couple of years that I coached, I would sit the parents down first thing, and I would say, and I had this list of things that I would tell them. And one of the things I would tell them is like, I'm going to make this very clear. When your kids are on the diamond, they belong to me. They don't belong to you. All I ever want to hear out of you during the game or during practice is go Timmy, go team, things like that. I was like, because if I tell them to drop a bunt, and they're walking up to the plate, and you're screaming at them, go ahead and hit it to left field, or leaving you all this stuff in left field. Now you're giving conflicting messages, and your kid needs to know that I'm the one that sets the strategy here. So when they're getting those conflicting messages, they don't know who to work for. Am I doing this for coach, or am I doing this for dad? So I would tell them flat out, if you want to coach, you need to go fill out the necessary forms, get the background checks like I did, and go coach. And become a coach. They will let you coach your kid. They will automatically put your kid on your roster as a courtesy. And people just didn't fucking get it. And on top of that, like this league that I coached for in this town, this league is really for the coaches. They want to feel good about themselves because they all played around here when they were kids in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And they're just trying to relive their old glory. And I'm just like, guys, you fucking sucked when you were 12. You suck as coaches now. It's like you're not teaching the game. Because one of the things they would do in this league that I used to coach in is they would take all the best kids in the league and put them on one team, and then like the rest of the teams in the league just got kind of what was left. So you would have this one team that just kind of blew through the rest of the league during like our regular season play, and then when they would go get into tournaments, they would get blown out by these teams around here that are put together to dominate. And I finally just got tired of it. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I was like, you guys don't, because one of the things I was telling them is I want to get every coach in this town together from T-ball all the way up to varsity. And I want to set up a plan as to like, okay, in T-ball, we're going to concentrate on this. In coach pitch, we're going to concentrate on this. In, the first year of player pitch, we're going to concentrate on this. And then like, we're going to structure it because I coached the junior high team for a year around here. And the one thing that the other coach had told me is that he was a very experienced coach. And one of the things that he had told me is that they don't teach these kids how to play the game at the next level. He said, so when I get these kids from the little league, they come up here and they haven't played on this size field, or you got an extra 20 feet between bases. You've got an extra, I think, 10 or 12 feet from the pitcher's mound to the plate. He's like, they don't teach them how to lead off. He's like, I have to teach these kids how to play baseball again. And that's one of the things I was trying to correct, is I wanted to make sure these kids were ready once they got up into school ball and started playing that harder game. And these guys just didn't want to fucking do it. And I finally was just like, you know what, I'm walking away. Because I didn't coach for a good, go ahead and put this on there. I didn't coach for a good 4 years, 3 or 4 years. I didn't coach because, I mean, these leagues around here are garbage. Like I said, the coaches are doing it for their own gratification. The parents are pricks. And they want all their kids to get all the at-bats and the start. And I'm just like, are you fucking kidding me? You guys don't know shit. It's like, you know what? You guys can have this league. I don't want it. And I've got a couple of offers to come coach other leagues around here. It's like my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, her brother is on the board for a little league in a town just outside of ours, and he's talked to me and said, hey, if you want to come up there and coach, we'll find a place for you. You may not be a head coach of a team for a while, but we'll get you in the system, and everything will work out. And I know a couple of people that actually went from the league that I coached in up to that league to say it's a lot better up there. A friend of mine actually wanted me to come up there and coach girls softball with him, and I was like, I don't want to coach girls softball. I had no interest at all in that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like I said, right now I'm just concentrating on the YouTube. As I pour me one more glass. If that catches, great. If not, whatever. I'm not sure that's going to catch, to be perfectly honest. I've been kind of letting it burn down, but I wanted to get a little more burning done as I open this new soda. But yeah, I mean, coaching's a tough thing. I mean, and I've had friends of mine in California, guys that I played baseball with when I was a kid. I'll talk to them, and they're just like, dude, just come back here to the West Coast. It's like you can be an assistant for one of us for a couple of years, and then after you've paid a few dues, we'll put together a team, and you can take it and run with it. Because these are guys that know me. These are guys that know that I want to do it right. But I can't just move back to California to coach a baseball team. It's a little pricey, but that's the way that goes. I'll coach again at some point, but yeah, the parents are terrible. Let's see. My parents, it was the kids. They're tough to deal with. This is true. I've been knocked out cold in lacrosse and woke up with smelling salts. I've never had that happen. But like I said, I've seen some lacrosse, and lacrosse is not a sport for weak people. You have to be in shape to play lacrosse. I've played a little with some friends of mine, and I don't really have a great grasp of the game. But it's definitely something fun that I would like to get into. Let's see, Cora said, I had 2 Cocker Spaniels. They were good dogs. I mean, yeah, I mean, like I said, that my aunt's dog, Gypsy, was one of my best friends when I was like 10, 11 years old. So one of these days, and the nice thing about a dog like Cocker Spaniel, I don't want to, I know a lot of people want to have these really big dogs like Great Danes and shit. I don't want a really big dog, Cocker Spaniels. I mean, I've seen people that have had them over the years. Pretty kind of mild-mannered. They're not very overly energetic. They're not super big. So it's a good-sized dog for kind of what I want to do for the family stuff. So he said, Ray says, my parents have an Italian Mastiff mix with a Crane Corso. Her name is Nikita. Nice. Good name. So I'm going to name my next dog. Yeah, again, kind of a big dog for me, a Mastiff. Do you have neighbors close to you? Butterfly, yes I do. I have, actually, the direction that you're looking right now, right behind there is an elderly couple that has a whole lot of land back there. They're kind of nice people. I've only talked to them a couple times, but they're pretty nice. Off to the right is a couple. Actually, the house off to my right, my brother and his ex-wife used to own, and when they got divorced, they sold it. But I talked to them, and they're nice people. I talk to them every now and again. And the people to my left, or to your left, as you're looking at the fire, they're pretty cool. They're an older couple. They're in their 50s. They're a little bit older than I am. They're pretty cool people. They just do what they do. He works. She works. I run into them in the front yard. We have our conversations. They're nice people. And they're nice enough not to call the cops on my son when he's sitting out in his friend's car getting high. Let's see. Actually, not only am I pretty cool with my neighbors, my parents live a half a block down. So if you go like out my front door and make a right, and then go like a half a block down and make a left, that's their street. And then about a half a block down is my parents' house on the right. So my parents are very nearby too. They would come to every practice and give suggestions. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, parents. Look, I tell parents, hey, a little bit of a flare right there. So maybe this fire's going to go again for a minute or two. But yeah, I tell parents, it's like, look, it's not that I'm not open to your suggestions and your thoughts if you have a concern. one of the things that I learned when I was coaching is the 24-hour rule. If you have a problem with, wow, something's happening over there in the fire. I must have caught a little bit of sap or something. But if you have a problem, don't come to me right after the game when you're emotional. Wait 24 hours. Then call me after you've had a chance to think about it. Because oftentimes, if you've taken a minute to think about it, then something will occur to you that will help it make sense to you, and then you're going to say, oh, you know what, I kind of get what he was talking about anyway. But so many parents just don't take that rule. They just want to run right up to me and start bitching. There was this kid that used to play for me when I was coaching the 12, 13, 14-year-old range of kids about 6, 7 years ago. And this kid was a talented athlete. Soccer was his sport. Very clear soccer was his sport. His dad was actually a varsity soccer coach, I think still is. But his mom was one of those people that was like, my son needs to be out there playing every day. He's your best player. I finally looked at her and I was like, you know what? I was like, your son's got a fucking attitude problem. He's super fucking gifted. He's super fucking talented. He's got athlete written all over him. He's obviously only playing baseball because you want him to play more than soccer. I was like, I'm not going to force him into loving this game. I'm going to put him where I think he's going to do the team the most good. And if you got a fucking problem with that, you can pull him. I mean, I'm not gonna cry. I'm not here to win a World Series. I'm not making any money to do this. It's like so you can just fucking take him and pull him if you want to be a bitch about it. And I didn't hear a word from her again. I mean, the rest of that season that I had him, he was in his last year of eligibility in that age group anyway. And I think at that point his parents had kind of given in on him playing multiple sports. All he wanted to play was soccer, and I think he wanted to dedicate himself to that sport. That's fine. I mean, I've only seen him a couple times since. It seems like he's doing pretty well. Still got a bit of an attitude, but he's a teenager, you know. But, I mean, a lot of it was his parents trying to force some shit on him, and I just think it's wrong. Let's see. Joe Compton, you are one state to the east of me. Yes, I am. If you ever move again, let me know, Frank. I'll help you out. Me and Jennifer have been talking about moving out of Ohio. Neither one of us really want to live here. I didn't grow up here, obviously. I don't like it here, generally speaking. I don't like the weather. It sucks. It's too fucking hot during the summer, even though it's kind of a mild summer. It's usually too hot during the summer. It's way too fucking cold during the winter. I don't like cold. We kind of want to move somewhere west to where we can enjoy better weather, be at least a little bit closer to my hometown so I can visit a little bit easier. She was born actually just outside of Houston, which is one of the reasons why her brother and their family moved back down there is because they have family there. But she kind of cooled off on the idea of moving to Texas after we went there in December. I don't know why. She just said that she wasn't as excited about the idea. And since we're still probably a good 6 years away from moving out of state, we're not really giving it too much thought right now. But eventually. I've looked at some places. We were looking at a thing the other night, just kind of out of curiosity, and we just kind of looked like we're the cheapest places to live. Let's start there. And all of them were east of the Mississippi, and we don't really want to live east of the Mississippi. I think one of them was Oklahoma, and one was Arkansas. I think that was as far west as it was on the list of these places. And neither one of us really wanted to live in those places. We kind of want to live, good climate year-round. Neither one of us want to have extreme weather. If we have to deal with any extreme weather, we'd rather deal with heat because heat's easier to deal with. But we don't want cold at all. We're kind of done with the fucking cold weather. But yeah, I don't know. We're looking. We have options. A lot of it's going to depend on. I mean, she wants to try to keep her job wherever we go. So a lot of it's going to depend on whether she can work remotely. Me personally, I don't give a fuck. I'll find a job wherever I go. Plenty of people want people to work hard like I do, so I'm not worried about it. But that fire seems to be dead. I really thought it might catch again, but perhaps not. I will not fuck with it anymore tonight. Hopefully it'll just burn out. I may even go get the hose and help extinguish it a bit. But I don't know. We're looking at stuff. I don't know. We'll see when we get there. Let's see. Derek says, I would get phone calls at 10, 11 o'clock from p.m. Parents complaining or suggesting what position I play their kid. They were so obnoxious. I would, well, that's the thing. It's like I would look at them and say, okay, I hear what you're saying. And in the case of the one kid that I was talking about a minute ago, like the kid had a great arm. And I was like, I need people with good, accurate arms to play on the left side of the field. So I would play him in center field because he had good speed and he can kind of back up both the corner outfielders. And I would play him at like shorter third because he had a good enough arm to where he could, get a ball and then throw it over to, at the time, my son was playing first base because my son has no range at all, but he can catch a ball. He got a good arm. He can catch a ball. He just has no range. Bigger kid like I was when I was at his age. So, and they would always complain, he wants to play second base. I'm like, I respect that, and I'll put him at second base here and there to make him happy, and if it works, but I was like, the reality is, I'm not here. I'm here to try to help you. I'm here to help. I do want to win a little bit, because I want kids to understand the difference of what it feels like between winning and losing. Winning feels good, losing feels bad. But what do you learn from losing? What do you learn from winning? So it's like I said, it's like none of us are playing for money, none of us are playing for stature, none of us are playing for big league contracts. Let the kids play. I mean, because honestly, when I was a kid playing baseball in Little League, they said be ready to play every position because I never know where you're going to be from one inning to the next. And if your skill set matches second base, that's where you're going to find a lot of your time. If your skill set matches left field, that's where you're going to find yourself playing a lot. And the fire just started again, so maybe I'll be out here for a few extra minutes. But it was just like, when you're young, you have to be willing to be coachable and to learn a lot of different positions, a lot of different things. And these days, everybody, people will just tell their kids, oh, wow, the fire just really started again. People will tell their kids, you should be playing this position, so that's what I'm going to tell your coach to play you. It's like, well, if you want to play your kid that position exclusively, great. Go fill out the paperwork, go get the background check, become a coach, and then you can play your kid wherever the fuck you want. But when your kid is playing for me, your kid's going to play the position that I'm going to tell them to play to help us achieve success as a team. That's the way that goes. And I'll move kids around and let them get different experience at different positions, but you're not going to exclusively play one position. If I need your arm in left field, that's where your arm's going to be. That's the way that goes. Let's see. Nice neighbors are also important. Yeah, like I said, I'm pretty fortunate to the neighbors I do. That's one of the reasons why I'm not in a big hurry to move. Well, for one, my son's 18. He's probably eyeballing his path out of my house into a place of his own. He's talked a little bit about getting a place with his friend Cameron. And if he does that, that'll be great because then my stepdaughter will move into his room, which is a little bit bigger, and then her room, I will probably do a little bit of stuff to it and make that kind of my studio so I can do some stuff, a little bit more video stuff during the day. The reason I don't do anything during the day right now, do like little stories like Drew does, is because 5 feet from my desk is Jennifer's desk, and Jennifer works with people's sensitive information, and I never really know when she's going to be on and off the phone, and I don't want to impede her work just to make a stupid little 5-minute YouTube video. So that's kind of why I don't do more stuff like Drew does, like the shorter stories. I'll do them here and there. It's like me and Jeremy did the quickie review of the Clerks 3 trailer the other day. That was fun. But I mean, a little behind the scenes action. Jennifer had a couple of phone calls she had to make. She was putting off while me and him were doing that because she's sitting 5 feet away, and I don't want anybody's sensitive information, because she deals with some health stuff, being broadcast out on my YouTube channel, because that's very bad. It's against the law. It would cost her job. Those things are terrible. But also, I'm not a dick. I don't want to put other people I don't know in that position. So that's kind of where it's at. But, sometimes if I get a chance to do some stuff during the day, I will. Jennifer takes some days off here and there. And maybe I do. Maybe pricks, that's true, and you're going to find that kind of in every age group. I feel like I'm the arrogant prick of my age group, if I'm being perfectly honest. But I mean, most of these kids, they're there and they want to just be a part of it. And if you don't have the parent in their other ear saying, you're the fucking star, you should be doing this, tell your coach to go fuck himself, tell your coach you're going to do what you want to do. If you don't have a stupid parent who's trying to live vicariously through their kid in their other ear, trying to give them the wrong ideas and fuck with their growth, then most kids are actually going to try really hard. And they want to be coachable. That's kind of how they are. That's been my experience anyway. I don't know about anybody else's experience. That's just been mine in my small town in Ohio that I've coached baseball in. But it's the parents, it's the adults that fuck it all up, and it wasn't even just the parents of the players. It's like some of these board members for this fucking league that I was coaching in, this little league. They just don't get it. It's like because the league that I coached in, it's $120 for your kid to play in this league. I think it might be cheaper for like T-ball and the really young kids, but I mean, it's like, but when you get up in like the minors, the majors, and then like the school ball ages, like they call it juniors and seniors in this league that I'm at. But I mean, when you get to like the 13 to 18 range in the area where they would also be playing school ball, it's like, I mean, they don't know how to grow players. And I was trying to say to them, hey, it's like you've got some decent, talented kids here at baseball. Maybe we need to work on growing more of these players. And so that way, when we do get one of these players that's like gifted, we're giving him an opportunity to really grow. Because what ends up happening is like these kids that are really gifted at baseball, they don't come play in the local little league here. They go play travel ball, or they play in one of these select leagues around here. They didn't have select leagues when I was a kid. I would have played that shit for sure. But yeah, they play these select leagues and travel ball leagues where they get great competition and it makes them better players. But when you're just like, when you're throwing that one like 14-year-old kid who looks like he's 18 up against other 14-year-olds who look like they're 7, I mean, you're not challenging him. He's just out there. I mean, he's out there just beating on the little kids, and he's not growing his talent. So when he does end up on one of these teams that goes and plays these tournaments, he's been playing powder puffs for so long, he doesn't know how to go against these guys that throw at that age, that throw 75-mile-an-hour fastballs, or that actually can throw like a two-seamer or throw a pitch with a lot of movement, or people that aren't afraid of this fucking guy. I mean, they'll throw inside on him. It's like and he's not ready for that level of competition. Then he goes and gets smoked, and then that hurts his confidence. And maybe he's a really talented kid who's just, he wants. Look, when I was a kid playing in junior high, we practiced against our varsity team, and our varsity team was finished like first or second in state every year for like 10 or 12 years straight in the 80s into the 90s. And so while we got our asses kicked a lot practicing against that team, we'd go up against the kids in our age group, and we fucking dominated because we were ready. I mean, there was nothing we couldn't fucking handle. Have a little more burn in us tonight. Have a good conversation though, so it's all right. But yeah, it's like they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that anymore. So, whatever. I mean, I'm not a part of this league around here anymore. They asked me not to coach anymore right in the middle of last season, and I just said, okay. I dropped my shit off the concession stand and walked out. Haven't missed it. A couple of the parents have been a couple of the parents that I was cool with, they were kind of like, what happened? And I'm like, well, they told me they didn't want me around anymore because, one parent got pissed off because I told them to go fuck themselves. I didn't tell them that precisely, but they were mad because I wasn't coaching the team the way I thought they should coach the team, and they were complaining, and whatever. So they asked me not to come back. I said, okay, all because one parent, all because you're worried about losing $120. I was like, good luck, guys. So now I've got offers honestly, one of the things that kind of holds this league back in the town that I live in is that they're a Little League organization. They're affiliated with Little League. And you're seeing a lot of youth organizations around the country ditch Little League because Little League's got a lot of really stupid rules and regulations. So what they're doing is instead of being, this town's Little League, they're just saying being this town's youth baseball and ditching their Little League affiliation altogether. And this town's really afraid to do that because they think they're going to lose money. They get money from Little League every year. And I'm just like, you know what? You guys are going to put out such a better product if you ditch the Little League affiliation and just start your own youth thing. That it's going to be better. It's going to be better baseball. You're going to attract some better coaches because they don't have to deal with some of the bullshit rules and regulations that Little League enforces on people. You're going to be able to play in other tournaments against better competition. You're going to be able to grow your players better. It's like there's no negative here. Honestly, the one thing, every time I bring it up, the one thing they would always say was, well, if we ditch our Little League affiliation and just become like, this town's youth baseball, then they gave us money for a scoreboard for the one field that has the scoreboard, and we'll have to either give them the difference of whatever, or take the scoreboard down. I'm like, that's your biggest fucking problem is a scoreboard? I'm like, put a kid out there with chalk like they did back in the fucking 40s. I was like, who cares? You're pissed off because of this 1970s scoreboard they donated to you from some other fucking shithole league that probably collapsed? I was like, come on, get over yourself. You're so stupid. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, they just want to collect $120 from each kid and let them play in a dirt pile for 2 months. And then say that they did good things, but whatever. Yeah, that's the problem with small town Ohio living, is that you get a lot of these people that are fucking good old boy networked in. All these guys that were here in the fucking 70s and 80s that think they can run their league the same way, and I'm like, sorry guys, you're in a whole different world now. Can't just keep those good players because they live in your town, you know what I mean? Derek says the kids themselves are awesome. I coach a lot of really great kids. It's crazy running into them now, and they're all out of school. Yeah, you know what's funny? It's like the team that I coached, that I stopped coaching in the middle of the year a couple of years ago. 2 or 3 of them live like a block from me. It's like, and as I drive around, I see them, and they'll like wave and be like, "Hey, coach." I'm like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And I'll wave at them and stuff. And the funny thing is the one parent that got really pissed at me and ended up becoming why I left. It's like her son is one of the players that I got along with just fine. She just didn't like something about the way I coached, and she was bitching about it, and I finally was just like, you know what, you guys need to decide what the fuck you want to do. And I heard shit off. He was like, well, I'll be at the concession stand in a couple hours. I was like, all right, fine. I drove right up there, again, 5 minutes up the road, small town, Ohio. I'm 5 minutes from everything in this town. And I just dropped the shit off the concession stand to the one lady that was working. And I was like, hey, can you give this to this guy and just tell him this is my stuff? And I just turned and walked away. And haven't heard back since. And, funny thing is one of the guys who's on the board is a guy who I've been friends with since high school. And he was telling people that he had called me to talk to me about it, and I wouldn't talk to him. And we're friends on Facebook. And I went right to his Facebook page, and I'm like, dude, you never called me once. And I haven't talked to that dude since. He hasn't reached out to me, nothing. No talk at all. And I'm like, well, if we would have had some disagreement and you'd have had something that I actually said, that would have been different. But it's like you're saying you had a conversation with me that you never had, and you're trying to say that the reason why this is because I was wrong. Yeah, fuck you. Sorry. It's like, but whatever. I don't go online and bash them. It's like they have a Facebook page. I could go on there and leave a shitty review, but why do it? It doesn't matter. Like I said, the reality is all the kids with a lot of talent, they don't play city youth leagues anymore. They go and play select leagues. I actually had one of the parents, there's a kid that I coached in my first couple years of coaching. He's actually varsity now, and he's actually doing really, really well. Yeah, let me get this in there a little bit more, see if I can get this last little bit of bread out tonight. He's doing really, really well. And he's a little warm. He's playing varsity, doing great. He actually throws darts as well. He's a hell of a dart player. His dad is actually one of the top-ranked dart players in the world. Yeah, it's like, and he's killing it. And, his mom is one of the ones that was telling me that she thought I should start a select team. And I'm like, well, I don't really know how to do that. They didn't have select teams when I was a kid, so I didn't have a lot of exposure to that, at least not in California anyway. So I didn't have a lot of exposure on how that works. I don't really, I don't really know a lot of the people around here. I don't know the infrastructure of getting all that started. And I'm willing to bet that it's pretty much another full-time job, and I don't really have time for that kind of thing. So maybe once all my kids are 18. My youngest son is 14 now. He'll be 15, in a couple weeks. But once they're 18 and they're kind of doing their own thing, maybe I could try to start something like that. But there's so much money involved: finding sponsorships, uniforms, a place to play, finding your home field. Things like that, parents. I don't know that I want to subject myself to all that shit. At least not right now. But, maybe 5 years from now, maybe, I don't know. Derek says, yep, that's the perfect description of the town I coach. Well, every small town's kind of the same. I try to draw a lot off my experiences as a young player, but I grew up in such a different time. I grew up in California where it was basically baseball, football, and basketball. Those were the only 3 sports that really existed. Soccer had not taken up really in the U.S. yet. Hockey wasn't even really a thing. It's like now they have the San Jose Sharks near where I grew up, but back then the closest hockey team to where I grew up was in L.A. It was the Kings, and that's a 7-hour drive south. So it's like those are the only 3 sports that existed. And in California, you can play baseball year round. I played pretty much year round when I was a kid. I played winter leagues. I played fall leagues. The winter leagues and fall leagues were kind of iffy because you never knew if you were going to get the weather. But it's mostly 70 degrees year round in California, so you can play baseball doing that. And I took a couple of sessions off to do things like play football or basketball. Baseball was my passion, so that's just what I played a lot. Around here, you can't do that. One of the things that really bothers me about the league around here is because football is a much bigger sport than baseball, and football starts conditioning like in early mid-July. Baseball season is over here at July 1st. So it's like, so they start as early as they can, usually when the weather's still shitty, And then here in Ohio, you can still get shitty weather during the summer, and you lose a lot of games because of rain, and then you're done by July 1st. So it's like baseball season's over, and you still have a month, and you really have 2 months of baseball. So, yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up in California. I grew up in a much different time, much different place. We approached baseball differently. It was kind of like the end-all, be-all of everything. Baseball, football, basketball. That's what it was. And they don't take baseball seriously here. And that's not my mindset. Baseball's serious business to me. And because baseball is not the predominant sport here, it's football and basketball. They don't really take, they don't give the game that kind of attention. So I don't know. Maybe that's just like a difference of how I was raised in the game. Boy, that shitty log that I was trying to get rid of, I got rid of a good piece of that during this burn. I'm actually surprised that tarp that I have thrown over there on the right on that wood didn't melt a little bit. But Mikkel's putting up videos. What's up, Mikkel? I keep getting all these notifications from Mikkel. What's Mikkel putting up? Mikkel is talking about NASCAR. Mikkel is talking about NASCAR. Drive in a circle. Turn left. Turn left. Turn left again. Let's see. Night Watch was live a couple hours ago. Check out Night Watch. Go to the description of all my videos. Go see Night Watch. He's a great guy. He talks about horror. He talks about a lot of movies. He's a big horror guy. But go talk to him. He's a really great content creator. I like that guy. Let's see. Aaron Judge hit number 200 of his career. Otani doing this thing again. More stuff from Mikkel. EJ putting some stuff out there. What's up, EJ? And there's a bunch of old stuff. Drew trying to message us about stuff. People tagging me and shit on Facebook. Taylor Swift. My daughter called me earlier. I know. Marvel Lord of the Rings. Get rid of all this stuff. DoorDash is sending me stuff. Amazon. Ofito Diamond Painting Kits. That's what my girlfriend does. Oh, that's what I wanted to listen to today, and I forgot when I was at work. Whitney Cummings was on the Joe Rogan Experience, and she's really funny to listen to. I like her. She's funny. Well, fucking hey, kids, I think this fire is just about done, and it's 3 a.m. where I'm at, so yeah, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to pour myself one more drink. I've taken a little bit of Johnny Walker. I have not drank a whole lot tonight. I've drank about a third of this Johnny Walker. It's not a very big bottle. Fire caught again. But as you can see, there's my bottle of Johnny Walker. It's empty. Oh, you can't see it. Oh, it's on a label, really. It's kind of where it has the label. You can kind of see where the line is there, right there in the middle of the screen. But, I drank a, good fire caught again. Let's see, how's the fire doing? The fire is catching again. Go ahead and bring out the extension cord to plug in the bug light and my iPad so we can go a little bit longer because my iPad probably wouldn't have lasted a half an hour if I hadn't plugged it in. And we've been having a good conversation here for the last couple hours. I don't even know how long we've been live. How long have we been live? I do not even know. Does this say something on the screen? No, it does not. Well, whatever. It's been live for a while. Had a lot of fun. Oh, 2.5 hours. Fucking A. Hey, I'll do some more of these. Fireside AMA with Frank. I kind of like that. I'll have to change this to be volume 1. But, yeah. Code. How's the fire doing? Well, you can see the fire right there. It recaught. I'm probably going to let it burn down. I'm not going to fuck with it anymore. I'll let it burn down, and if, I'll give it another half hour or so, because I think that wood that I had in there was some of the drier stuff. So, we'll let that burn down, and I'll probably call it a night. Let's see. Ace, a great night, Frank. Yeah, it's a great night. Typo. It's 2 a.m. here. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. here. So, yeah, it's usually 4 a.m. is my limit sometimes, especially like on Sundays with Drew. Things can go on a little late. 4 a.m. is my limit. That's kind of where I have to cut it off. 'Cause I don't like sleeping my day away. I try to get up no later than 11 usually. Usually between 10 and 11. So that way I have a few hours of my day before I have to go to work at 4 or 5 to do some whatever I have to do around the house, maybe mow the yard, maybe run some errands, do some shit. But we're 8 strong in the chat right now. Fucking A. Let's see. Derek says, how long of a drive is it from one end of California to the other? Ooh, I don't know. I've never actually done a drive from one end to the other. But if you're talking about Eureka, which is one of the northernmost cities of California that most people have heard about, it's actually a big party town. Or Chico. Chico's up north too. Chico's a big party town. That college up there is actually one of the big party schools in America. But if you're up like in the Chico, Eureka kind of area, and you drive down to San Diego, which is right on the border of California and Mexico, if I had to guess, you're looking at a distance-wise, I would say in good traffic, you could probably make it from the northern end of California all the way down to San Diego in probably about 7 hours. That's my guess. If you had the Highway 1, which is the scenic route, which goes through San Francisco, takes you across the Golden Gate. Is that beautiful coastal drive that you see, it's like the PCH, the Pacific Coast Highway. That's all the one. That's Highway 1. Then you could probably do it in 7 hours if you could just shoot straight through. Traffic turns that into probably a 20-hour drive. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, traffic once you hit places like San Francisco is bad enough. San Francisco traffic is awful. I mean, it's workable. It's not the worst I've ever seen, but it's workable. But LA traffic, oh God, it's awful. I mean, I haven't been to LA for a long time, mostly because of just the congestion there. It's just so hard to get anywhere. I mean, go to California. If you guys ever get a chance, just go. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful there. I'm not gonna fucking lie. If I had a chance to be from anywhere else in the world, I wouldn't do it. I would always be from California. It's for all the fucked up shit that's going on there right now, there are some places that you can go and look that it's just mind-blowing. It's like there's this place, once you cross the Golden Gate Bridge going north, you get up into, it's the Golden Gate, what's it called? Not recreation. It's part of Golden Gate Park, but it's called like the Golden Gate Nature Reserve or something like that. I forget what it's called. But you can actually go up there, and there's that hill. You actually kind of see a little bit of it in the beginning of Ant-Man, the first Ant-Man movie. You can actually drive up on that mountain, and there are times where, like when the fog rolls in, where you're up on a road on top of the mountain along the cliffs, and you're looking down on the Golden Gate Bridge, and with that low cloud layer and that fog, all you see is like the clouds and like the spires of the Golden Gate Bridge poking up through the clouds. I've seen that with my own eyes, and it is fucking beautiful. It is humbling. It makes you feel small. It makes you feel insignificant. It makes you feel like you are nothing in this world of great beauty. It's so amazing, and there's so many other great things you can see. I mean, just the beaches. My home screen on my desktop is a picture of Natural Bridges State Park in my hometown in Santa Cruz. Beautiful place. That's where my ashes spread when I die. That's already in my wood, and I feel so much better about life. But I mean, it's beautiful. It's like, you go to places like Monterey Bay Aquarium, beautiful place to go. I mean, there's places all up and down the coast that are amazing. San Luis Obispo, which is kind of the unofficial border between Northern California and Central California. All the missions and stuff. And even LA and stuff in Southern California is really pretty to see. But it's just like the people there, they don't appreciate it. You get a bunch of people that aren't from California that move there, and they don't appreciate the beauty of that place. They just like being there because the weather's pleasant year round, and they don't understand what it was like to grow up there. And that's what pisses me off. I don't like it when people move to a place and don't appreciate what that place is. And that's kind of what's ruining it. Let's see. What did Cora say? Have a great night. Okay, have a great night is what Cora was saying. Goodbye, Lady Cora. I know it's getting kind of late for both of us. It's about 7 after 3 here. We've been going now for about 2 hours. What does it say? 2 hours and 34 minutes. 2 hours and 35 minutes coming up. So I'm waiting for this little bit of fire to burn down, and then I'm probably going to call it a night. I'm going to sit here and make sure it starts to, it just turns to embers. Maybe give it a little bit of a stir to spread things out. And then call it a night. Butterfly said this was fun. This was fun. I'm going to have to do, I probably won't do this once a week. I might do this once a month, maybe. Like I said, we're getting into the later days of summer where the nights are going to start to cool off, so it'll be a little bit more comfortable to come out here and light this. I was talking about doing this earlier with my sister-in-law, who's, like I said, is kind of crashing with us right now. And she said that she might come out here and sit if I started a fire. We were going to come out here and just kind of chill, and I thought maybe I'd kick up this live stream and just kind of have a chat with you all, and me and her could sit here and just kind of talk, and you guys could join us for a conversation over the internet. But yeah, it worked out pretty fucking well. I'm actually pretty stoked. Let's see, yes, she said, yeah, more of these when you want to. I have to do it. Like I said, we're getting into the cooler nights. We're in the cooler nights of the late summer, so yeah, it's going to be fun. I think it'll be cool. And I've got plenty of firewood here. I could see us doing this once every 2-3 weeks. I know I've got a couple of things coming up where I might be out here a little late with people. My brother-in-law, he'll be in town here in the next week or so. He's wrapping up things in Texas before he's actually going to fly up here, get a U-Haul, drive back down, load up the stuff that they are bringing back up here from Texas, and then he's going to drive back up. He is one of those weirdos that actually enjoys that kind of drive. I personally say, screw that. If I can't drive there in 12 hours, I'll just jump on a plane and fly. Make it easy. That's just me. I've driven, for those of you who are wondering, how have I been to California? I fly, but I have made the drive between Ohio and California and back 1, 2, 3, I think 4 times, and it's fucking awful. It is just awful. Now, if I had time, it wouldn't be so bad. But it's like the one time I did it was kind of in a hurry because my grandmother was on the verge of passing away, so so we weren't really going for vacation as much as we were going, to kind of like deal with all that. So it wasn't really a fun drive. One time my family decided to drive out there. Me, mom, dad, brother, and sister. It was awful. It was just not a good experience. It's just not good. Not because my family was bad or anything. It's just because it's a long drive. It's 3 days. And it's like no matter how you do it. I mean, we've driven like straight through, and we've driven like the southern route, and they both take 3 days, and they're awful. It's just a terrible drive. Now, if I had time, if I had like an RV, and I could stop a couple places along the way and kind of enjoy the journey, maybe take a week to get to where I'm going, that would be different. I think that would be fucking awesome. That'd be banging. But it's like, if you only have a week's vacation, I don't want to spend 6 days of my 10 days available to me on the road. You know what I mean? But yeah, we'll definitely do more of these. I think it's gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. But no, what I was getting ready to say is that my brother-in-law is coming out here, and we're doing a thing. He's turning 40. No, he's older than that. 42. I forget. He's older than Jennifer, and Jennifer turns 40 this year. Don't tell her I said that; she'll be mad. But yeah, so we're having a little birthday thing here. I'm gonna put a brisket on the smoker. Since my gas grill has gone kaput, it's going to be going out to the side of the road on Monday. I only have my charcoal grill now, and I will probably stick to that exclusively, unless I have enough money to get a pellet-fed grill. I've always wanted a pellet-fed grill, but I think for the most part, I'm going to. There's some noise over there in the bushes. That's all right though. Daddy's prepared, but. Yeah, I'm going to put there's actually this really cool YouTube video that I found the other day. This chick took like a wet rub and put it on a good thick brisket and put it in the slow cooker for 12 hours. And when she took it out of the slow cooker and put it in the oven to finish it, to kind of caramelize it and give it a bit of a shell. But what I was thinking of doing was changing it a bit. I was thinking about taking it out of the crock pot and putting it on the smoker and smoking it for another couple hours, just to try to lock in some flavor. Put some good smoked chips in there. Probably gets I don't like mesquite. Everybody does mesquite. I was thinking about a good applewood kind of thing. I had some applewood stuff that I used. I smoked some hamburgers last summer that turned out really fucking good. So I'm thinking I might get some applewood chips and throw that on the smoker with that big fatty brisket that's had like a wet rub on it, and then just kind of like put it on a cookie thing, and then put like a cookie sheet under it so it catches the drippings, and then just every 30 minutes or so, just make sure I give it a good basting so it doesn't dry out. And yeah, that's what I'm planning on cooking for his birthday here in a couple weeks. So, fuck it, hey. Don't you guys feel shitty that you don't live closer to me so you can eat all the good food? I've been kind of spoiled by my sister-in-law. She's been cooking mostly lately. So I think tomorrow, like I said, tomorrow's going to be all on me. It's going to be chorizo and eggs and potatoes. That's what the kids are going to want, so that's what I'm going to do. It's good food, it's easy to make, it's Mexican, spicy, and we're going to bash it. It's going to be some good shit. And I'll be eating that before I go live with Drewski over on Derailed, so all you awesome motherfuckers, come check us out on Derailed tomorrow. I think he put out a thing already as to what we're doing. Let me see. What did Drew say? He put it out in the messenger. Hershey not to meet Halloween demand. I sent him that story. Let's see. Shakira tax fraud trial, the Mega Millions. That sounds like some interesting stories to talk about. So come check us out. Mañana, 9 o'clock. Whatever standard time. I don't know what the fuck time it is. It's 3:15 in the morning here. I'm just watching this fire burn. Probably, should I douse it? I mean, I'm far enough away from anything. Far enough away from anybody's house. The shrubbery behind it's far enough away and it's green, so it won't burn very well. It's a good 5 feet away from my firewood, which is covered by a tarp, and the tarp hasn't seemed to suffer from being too close from the fire, so I'm thinking I'm probably safe. I feel like I should probably get my hose, though. Maybe give this a bit of a dousing. Just be on the safe side. Safe side. Let's see. What's going on here? Said that somebody commented something. Who commented on the YouTube? I'm not handling my phone right. It was Foulmouth Ken. What's up, Foulmouth Ken, my brother? He said, enjoyed the stream a day ago. Did I have a stream a day ago? Oh, it may have been that one night that I went live that he wasn't live or something like that. I don't know. But yeah. What's up, Ken? Oh, man, I don't know if you're watching right now, but what's up, brother Ken? Go check out Ken. Foulmouth Ken, all the cool shit he does. He's usually one of my go-to things to listen to when I'm at work, driving around. Just doing fuck with Tommy. Uh-oh. Sirens. Woo! It's not a sound I hear very often in this town. I mean, kinda. I mean, it's no different than every town, I guess. I am very close to finishing this drink right here. I don't know if you can tell. Don't have much left. Bad lighting is not giving you a good indication as to what I have left in the drink. But you can see that the fire itself, wow, I went and fucked all of this up. Let me see if I can get that to refocus on the fire. Nope, I fucked it all up, so you guys are getting a blurry fire. My bad. I'm going to have to tinker with doing this on my iPad, because it's not focusing on the fire the way that I want. Let me fuck with it a little bit, see if I can make it better. Nope. Chat. No, let's see chat. Just fuck everything up. What does that say there at the bottom? Event list. Yeah, I don't need that. Nobody donated tonight anyway. But yeah, you're seeing the remnants of the fire. I wonder if I turn my light on, if it'll help it focus on the fire again. Did that help it? Hey, that helps it a bit. Hey, you gotta get a better look at the fire now. So, now I know how to do that. There's the hack. There's the hack for using Streamlabs on your fucking iPad, folks. Let's see what, my dad's Aunt Amelia. Oh, for those of you who follow me on Facebook, which I think is like maybe one of you, I'm growing pumpkins in my front yard, and I have pumpkins. My friend's wife, Michelle, says she's growing watermelons, and has a picture of those. Nice. So let's see what's going on Facebook. Nothing big. Heather, JP's wife, Heather. So this might get me in some... Oh, yeah. I posted something on Twitter earlier that I thought was going to get me in some trouble, but it actually did not become a thing. So thank you, Twitter, for not kicking me off your platform. Not that I would have cared a whole lot, but, you know... I have a text message. No, I do not. That's a junk text message. No, let's go check Twitter real quick while I'm finishing this drink. See what's going on the Twitter. Hello, Twitter world. Some people found the Fireside chat tweet. Yeah, kind of a sudden thing. I have a new follower named Carla. Hello, Carla. She seems cool, I guess. Not somebody I know. Not followed by anyone I'm following. But hey, if you happen to be watching Carla, thank you for following me on Twitter. Don't forget to go check out the shit that I do on YouTube. Let's see. Look at new follower. Let's see. Twitter. More crap about politics. Blah, blah, blah. Don't care. Something about Tesla. Couldn't give a fuck. Yeah, just a bunch of crap. Neil Patrick Harris in his first on-camera gay sex scene in Uncoupled. Yeah, whatever. That wouldn't be the first one ever, so not really that important. Let's see. Georgia Log Cabin. Newsom's Against Guns. Yeah, we know. Some shit from Ben Shapiro. Hollywood Reporter. Big story. I don't know. Is it? Hollywood Flashback. Hackstar. Gene Smart made her big break. Nope. Not a big story. Not anything worth talking about on Thursdays. So far, I mean, I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek for the, I don't know, fucking 2 of you that are probably still watching. Just sent me the photo. Let me look at that real quick. Kind of looks like me. Nah, I'm not that old. He's in his 50s. What the fuck? Joe, you're killing me. I don't know. I guess keep me kind of. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'll send that over to Drew. I'll put like a side-by-side comparison and send it over to Drew. We can discuss it tomorrow night. But, yeah, that's kind of. Let's see. Jared Leto has reportedly been cast as the Hatbox Ghost in Disney's Haunted Mansion film. Really? Interesting. Might be something we're talking about on Thursday. I'll have to look into that a little bit more. For right now, the only thing I've got for Thursday's show, to give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek as to what's coming, is Max Headroom is going to be making a comeback. I don't know if you guys remember Max Headroom. So, oh, hello. I hit the wrong button. So, let's see. Someone named Aaron McLaughlin has decided to join the chat. Hello, Aaron. I don't know what time it is where you are. Am I MAGA? I voted for Trump. I am not a Trump sycophant. I vote for policy, not personality. So do I like Trump's policies? Yeah, a lot of them. Do I like his personality? No, he's probably a prick in real life. I mean, just being honest, most politicians probably are. I mean, I do not have a MAGA hat, if that's what you're asking. I vote for some. I do vote for Democrats locally. I actually know a couple. It bothers the shit out of my dad, who's like a staunch fucking like Nazi level Republican. But I mean, it's all about policy. I mean, sometimes people say things that I agree with, and if there are 5 things that are important to me, and you speak my language on 3 of them, then I'm probably going to vote for you. It's not. I'm not a party hack. I'm not. I mean, I have my liberal leanings. I consider myself a conservative, but I consider myself moderate. I'm not like a Republican sycophant. I'm not a Kool-Aid drinker. I support the LGBT community for the most part. I think gay and lesbians should be able to get married, enjoy all the things that come along with it. I think conservatives the GOP needs to take the environment a lot more seriously. Not only that, but use things that we need to do to help the environment to maybe boost the economy. I don't see why you can't do that. But I'm not a big fan of other things that are very liberal things. I mean, I'm not a big fan of abortion. There's caveats to all kinds of things. I'm not going to go into them here, but I don't know. Things have nuance. That's all I know, and That's all about whatever. Trans rights. I don't know what you mean about trans rights. See, you said, "Oh my God, misspelled name is still in here." Yes, the repose. Your misspelled name is still in here. As far as trans rights, I don't have any problem with trans people. I don't have any problem. I have friends who are trans. I don't know what you mean by trans rights. I don't think that trans people have different rights than I do. You have the right to be who you want to be. Like I've said it 100 times. If you want to identify as a shrubbery and stand in your front yard making tree poses from sun up to sundown, that's all you. You do what you do. If you don't have a negative impact on my life, you do you. There are some people that are kind of weird about it, and I have the right to think you're weird. I do not have the right to get in your face and tell you that necessarily. Mostly because it's rude, but. I mean, it's like, look, everybody has human rights. You have rights as an American citizen. Those rights are not altered or changed because you are trans. They're not altered or changed because you're black or white. They're not altered or changed because you're a man or woman. I think that's one of the things that's kind of diluting the whole fucking thing about rights is that we're trying to segment it into different parts of people's existence. And I don't understand why. I don't understand why a black person's rights are different from a white person's rights. They're all rights of human beings, of people, of citizens. Why is trans rights different from non-trans rights? Why are women's rights different from men's rights? They're all the same thing. We're all human beings in the end. Are we all governed by the same laws, or aren't we? I think it's kind of redundant to make laws. I think it's kind of redundant to make laws based on whatever segment of the population that you might say you belong to. I don't understand why, because there's already laws saying that you can't punch somebody as they're walking down the street. Why should I make a new law saying that it's different if that person is black, or if that person is trans, or if that person is gay? There's already laws saying you can't do that. You're already protected by laws saying that person broke a law by punching you when walking down the street. I don't know. I think it gets convoluted because people want to divide and conquer and get your vote. And I think we all have rights. I don't think those rights are changed or altered or different from anybody else's rights because you identify as a different thing. Do I respect people's, however they want to live? Absolutely. But, I mean, if somebody's going to get mad at me because I'm going to say you're born biologically one sex or another, I mean, that's a fact. Look, I have a trans friend named Alex. Alex was born as a woman and chooses to live as a man. I've only ever known Alex as a man. So it's an easy distinction for me to make because that's all I've ever known. So when I talk about Alex, I'm like, this is my dude Alex, this is my bro. I say, hey, what's up, buddy? It's like, I talk to Alex like Alex is a guy because that's the only way I've ever known Alex. But I know. But if somebody were to get me in court and say, hey, under oath, is Alex a man or a woman? I'm going to be like, well, Alex is biologically a woman, but Alex lives as a man. I respect that. But I don't know. The whole thing's so convoluted these days. It's such a pain in the ass. Let me see. Oh, I missed some in the chat. It's my right to be called by my pronouns. Zimzir. Zimzir is funny. But look. Call yourself what you want. If you are, it's all about, again, it's about personality. If you develop a friendship with me, and you have proven to me that you can have a conversation, even on things that we disagree with, in a logical, respectable way, then I will consider you my friend, and I will pay you that respect to refer to you however you want to be referred as. But if you're one of these weird people that just screams in people's faces at some protest, it's like, you're not earning my respect, you're just being obnoxious. And I don't particularly deal well with obnoxious people. It's like, because Cora's in the chat right now. Cora and I have disagreed vehemently on camera about several things. But me and Cora also have respectable discussions, whether the camera's rolling or not. So I respect Cora enough to maybe pull a punch here and there, to give her a chance to make her point so that we can have a good back and forth. And a lot of people are just stupid. It's like they want to make noise more than they want to make a point. You know what I mean? Will I call you by your pronouns? Well, I got to be honest, Aaron, I don't know you. It's like, through this chat is the first time I've talked to you. Now, if we have continuing conversations and you prove to me that that we can have a respectful conversation and be respectful towards one another's opinions, even if we disagree, then I'm going to want to respect you by referring to you as your pronouns. But if you're one of those people that's going to get obnoxious, then I'm going to be like, why should I respect you if you're automatically going to run to this thing where you're going to start calling me literally Hitler or bigoted or whatever? I mean, whatever. What is Alex's pronouns? You know what? We've never actually discussed that. I believe Alex goes by the him guy pronouns because Alex chooses to live as a man, was born as a woman, but chooses to live as a man. Honestly, we've never had that discussion. I've just always known Alex as a guy. So, I mean, when I've said, hey, Alex needs you over here, he needs something like this, it's probably kind of where I've gone. I've used the he, him. I guess if you want to get specific with the pronouns, that's kind of what I've always referred to him as, because I've only ever known Alex as a man. So there's not that divide there. Now, if I would have known Alex as a woman and then saw Alex transition to man, I would probably slip every now and again and refer to Alex as a her. It would be a slip. It wouldn't be something that I would do to insult Alex. It would just be because sometimes you got to rewire the brain. You know what I mean? It's like people who know Caitlyn Jenner. It's like people who knew Caitlyn Jenner as Bruce Jenner before Bruce transitioned. I'm not trying to dead name anybody. I'm just using this as an example. It's like people who knew Jenner before the transition might sometimes slip and say, oh, yeah, he told me this, or I mean, she told me this, just because sometimes after a long time of knowing somebody, your brain gets hardwired into who they are. And when that transition gets made, sometimes it takes a lot to burn those new neural pathways. You know what I mean? Good night, Cora. You're off for the night. I will talk to you, I don't know, maybe tomorrow if you're going to be on Drew's show, or if you're going to be in the chat or something like that. Definitely on Thursday. Yeah. So Aaron, I mean, you've been respectful in the chat. I agree. Just call me by my pronouns. I get it. But like I said, I mean, there does have to be a certain level of respect, and that's what I'm looking for. Sorry, it's fucking 3:30 in the morning, and I've had a couple of Jim Beams, a couple of fucking Johnny Walkers and Coke. Just be respectful. You know, if we develop a rapport, I think is the word I'm looking for. If we develop a good rapport, then I'm going to want to respect you and refer to you by your pronouns. Although I have to ask, where does Zimzir come from? I mean, I've heard that a lot recently, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean. Is it supposed to be like the X that they put at Latinx? Is it supposed to be something that's just kind of neutral or non-committed to one gender or another? Help me understand that, because I really don't know. Some of the stuff is just fucking confusing. I mean, like I said, if you want to identify as a shrubbery and stand in your front yard making tree poses from sun up to sundown, that's all you. As long as you're not hurting anybody, I'm not really going to care. But I can think that you're weird. I'm not going to be rude enough to get into your face and be a dick about it, because I don't think that's appropriate. But whatever. Can I ask your opinions on BLM? BLM is garbage. I think that, look, Black lives do matter. I have several friends that are, African American. I'm Mexican myself, for those of you who don't know. I have a Mexican girlfriend. I have a Mexican family. I have friends and relatives of all spectrums of colors and races. The BLM movement is garbage. It's like, it's just another domestic terrorist organization, just like what the fucking, what is the other one that they go against all the time? The Proud Boys. Yeah, that whole thing's been turned into a fucking joke too. So I mean, they both need to go away. You are non-binary, Aaron. Okay, Cora. Yes, I know. I'm well aware. That's why I'm trying to keep things on the level. But you know, I mean, look, Black lives do matter. All lives matter. I think both those things can exist equally. I have black friends. I have Asian friends. Guys that I played baseball with of all sizes, colors, whatever. There was somebody who was on my channel with me early in the channel named Jake. Good friend of mine, gay. Nice guy. Friend of mine. His birthday was just the other day. But, you know, it's not those things that differentiate us, the gay, the straight, the man, the woman, the lesbian, the trans, doesn't mean anything to me. I'm way more interested in your personality and who you are as a person. It's like if you have a good personality, if you are good to talk to, if you're respectable, then the rest of that shit is just fluff. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter to me at all. What about George Floyd? I didn't know George Floyd. All I know was the aftermath. I didn't know him. I mean, people said he had a record. Well, you know, lots of people. I know lots of good people that have records. It's like, whatever. You know, I don't know what to tell you about George Floyd. It's I wasn't there. And I saw the video. I mean, I'm glad that cop that did it. I won't use his name because I don't want to glorify him like people glorify other school shooters. I don't want to glorify this guy by using his name, but I think he did it. I think he knew what he was doing. Yeah, the one thing that gets me about that video about George Floyd is I've had friends say, oh, he didn't really have his knee on his neck all that hard, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at that dude's face, he's looking around at all these people getting footage of him doing what he's doing, and he's enjoying it. That's the part that bothered me. It's like he knew what he was doing. That's why I'm glad that cop is going to spend the good majority of the rest of his life in jail. Hopefully all of it, and hopefully he'll spend eternity in hell after that, because I think he deserves it. As far as the other cops that were there, they should be punished because they should have been the ones that said, hey man, you need to back off a little bit and let's handle this thing a little bit better. But whatever. His name triggers me. Well, I mean, is it the name or the situation? Because the situation became a big thing. It triggers a lot of people. So, whatever. I mean, I don't know what to say about George Floyd. He should get capital punishment. Well, capital punishment's that's kind of a discussion in and of itself. I mean, the death penalty is something that's a big deal. Everybody has their opinions. I have mine. Some people are for it. Some people are against it. There's arguments on both sides that I think are valid and well thought out. It's whatever. I don't know how to. It's one of those things that I don't think there's going to be a clear-cut definition ever. So, I mean, he's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. So he's going to get what's coming to him. That's all that matters. Boy, it's funny that it's 3:30 in the morning and we've actually managed to go up a couple of viewers. But with the fire slowly burning itself out, I think I'm getting close to hitting the end button on this. We've gone for a little over 3 hours. That's a whole lot more than I planned on going. I really only thought this was going to go for about an hour or so. But here I am in my backyard at 3 o'clock, 3:30 in the fucking morning, and we've been banging out some good conversation. It's been fun. Aaron McLaughlin, I hope you will subscribe and come back for all the good movie talk. Generally speaking, that's what we talk about on this channel is movies. I just wanted to do a little something different and maybe have some conversation. There are some other broader things I'd like to do with the channel, but you know, that's going to be stuff that happens off in the future after I kind of you know, figure out what I'm doing on. Frank, you passed the vibe check. Congratulations. Well, thank you. Hoping I give good vibes. Rose says, "Are you actually outside?" Yes, I'm in my backyard. I mean, I'll do this real quick. I will show you. There is my fire pool that is all fucked up, and there is my backyard. There's my back door. So yes, I am actually outside. I have been outside for 3 hours, giving you guys the fireside chat, and this is something we're probably gonna have to do again. Having a lot of fun. Oof, you moved the camera and it died. Oh, did it die? Oh, you know what? It's probably just like when it fucked. It's probably just whatever. But anyway, yes, I am very much outside. And I will be outside, well, probably for a minute or so. I've only got a little bit of my drink left. Really only one drink worth. I'll probably end the stream here in a minute or so. Thanks, everybody, for coming and fucking hanging out. I mean, now we're up to 9 people watching. So, but whatever. So, anyway, if you guys didn't get a chance to see it, there's my back door. So yes, that's the back, and on that window right there, if you didn't get a chance to see it earlier, is where I'm usually doing the magic stuff from YouTube. That's where my desk is over there. You can actually see the shadow of my soft light, and over there is kind of see where Jennifer sits when she's doing her shit. But anyway, that's where I'm at. And now I got to reposition this because it seems like right as I'm getting ready to end a stream is when I usually get like a surge of viewers. But Rose says, I've noticed streams lately have been getting views later at night. I did 2 streams in a day, and the one I ended with had higher views. You know, the strangest thing, Rose, is I don't know if it's the community. I don't know if it's just availability. I don't know if it's just timing. I don't get it, but it seems like all of my live streams, they'll start out with a certain number of people, and they always tend to grow as the show goes on. So it's like I'll start out with like 7 or 8, and then by the time, and I'll peak at like 19 or 20, somewhere in that range, between 15 and 20, depending on the day. And then, but it stays strong late. And there's been times where it's like, I'll try to keep the stream going for a little bit just for shits and giggles, because there's like 17 fucking people watching, and I'm like, well, there's 17 people watching. I want to give them something. I want to get some watch time. I want to try to draw them in a little more, so that if they're newer people, they subscribe, or if they're people that don't watch a lot, maybe it gets them to watch a little more. While I tie my shoe, because my shoe keep untied. I don't like having an untied shoe. Yeah, it's really odd. I don't know. Maybe it's just a YouTube thing that I'm not aware of yet. But me and Drew had talked about this the last couple of weeks, about where to put stories in the live stream, and I told him that I tend to put my bigger stories in late, because I figure most people are coming to hear about like the biggest story, and I want to be able to talk about that story when I feel like my viewership is going to be at its peak. So that's kind of how I've been doing things. So, well, my drink is done, and I've been doing this for 3 hours and 7 minutes, and I am very, very happy that all you guys came around. Rose says, do you think Judge hits 60 home runs? He's at 42 with 2 months left. Probably. Yeah, 60's within reach. And he's playing in one of those parks that favors the home run hitters. So, I mean, let's face it. Yankee Stadium, I mean, they want home runs at Yankee Stadium. So, yeah, probably. But, and look, 60's not a bad number. It's not 72. But, look, Judge is a beast. I would look. I know I listen to a lot of KNBR, which is the sports AM sports station out of San Francisco, because I'm a Giants fan, obviously. But and there's word that they're going to try to make a run at Aaron Judge when he's a free agent. They're trying to position themselves to do it. I personally don't think they're going to be able to pull it off, because I mean that's a lot of money, and you can't outspend the Yankees. I mean, you might be able to beat the Yankees on the field. You can't beat them in the bank. You know what I mean? So, and he's going to want to get paid. And it's not like he's not going to get a chance to win in New York with the Yankees. I mean, the Yankees are perennial contenders. And all it takes is one off year for the AL, and they're going to fucking walk through the American League. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. But, the thing about the Giants, though, is they privately funded their entire stadium. So now that they've paid off their stadium, they actually have a shit ton more money to spend on talent than a lot of players, than a lot of teams that are in that kind of like mid to lower big market. Like, because I don't consider San Francisco a big market for anything sports wise, but I mean the Niners have been terribly successful because of ownership and just like that fervor that surrounds football in the Bay Area. Giants, I've always thought of them as like a mid-market team, maybe a little bit bigger than that. So they might be able to put some money together to go after Aaron Judge. I mean, they're supposedly trying to put together a deal for Soto. I don't think they're going to do it, because I don't think they're going to want to trade away all their prospects. Especially, I mean, Joey Bart might have to go, and Joey Bart's the guy that's supposed to be taking over for Buster now that he's retired. I mean, you have to have a decent catcher. I mean, shit. I mean, I don't know that we win 2 of those 3 World Series without Buster. So having a solid guy behind the plate to play defense and to call things out and to be that guy, that solid guy, that solid player. Joey Bart's the kind of guy that can step into that here in the next year or so and be that Buster Posey for the next 10 years. But I don't know. We're going to see it, man. We're going to see. Giants season is not going exactly the way I want it to, obviously. I mean, they're still in the hunt for a wild card. Dodgers are kind of running away with things, but I mean, whatever. I mean, winning the division doesn't mean much if you get bumped in the fucking playoffs. So, I mean, we saw that with the Patriots a few years ago. Undefeated season, oh, they're so good. Oh, no, they lost Super Bowl. Oh, now it doesn't matter anymore. Going undefeated doesn't matter anymore because they lost Super Bowl, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I think, it's 3:45. I've been going now for 3 hours and 10 minutes, and this fire looks like it's just about done. It actually looks a lot brighter on camera than it actually looks in real life. So this fire is on its way out. That's a good thing, because I need to go inside and start to get ready for bed. But thanks to all of you who came and hung out. Rose, Aaron McLaughlin, Cora was here for a bit. What's up, Lady Cora? You can see her with me on Thursday. Who else is in here? Derek Hance, what's up? Butterfly was in here. Let's see. Pure Country Entertainment, Joe Compton, what's up? Ray, the Cartoon Kid. Link in the description to most of my videos. Not this one, but most of the videos. You can find him. Let's see, Mr. Marvel, my man Connor, go check out his stuff with Horny Goat. I had some other people in here earlier, I forget who it was. But yeah, thanks to everybody. Yeah, Randy Viper, what's up, my man? Let's see, who did I miss from earlier in the stream? I know there were some people here early in the stream. And probably, if I missed you, I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm not trying to not call you out. Just because I can only scroll back so far on YouTube. Tex, can't forget Tex. Tex was in here earlier. My man Tex, you find him on my channel every now and again. Mikkel Clow, what's up, Mikkel? Happy birthday, Mikkel. Beautiful motherfucker, you. Insane Root. Woo! You can't see the horns I'm putting in front of there because the light's kind of dead now. Woo! Insane Root, what's up? Casey was in here. What's up, my man Casey? And I think that's pretty much it. So, yeah, it's 4:45. Been going for over 3 hours now, and this fire is just about done. So, thank you guys for coming and hanging out. Very much appreciate it. And I think I'm going to hit end stream now and take all this stuff back in the house and call it a night. So, thanks, you guys. You're pretty fucking awesome. See you later.